24. It was an outstanding effort by the Pride, and it propelled the squad into the quarterfinals of the championship tournament. Up next, the defending national champ, Georgia Southern. In their first-round matchup, the Eagles overwhelmed McNeese State 42-17. Until someone KOs it from the playoffs, Georgia Southern remains the team to beat. Will Hofstra be the one to end the Eagles' quest for a repeat? Or will it become another in a long list of victims of the powerhouse from Georgia? The action and the answer is coming up next. This is Eagle Creek on the campus of Georgia Southern University in Statesboro. It's the setting for today's 1AA quarterfinal matchup between the Hofstra Pride and the defending national champion Eagles from Georgia Southern. Well, hi everyone, I'm Carl Reuter, as always, joined by Marty Lyons. And Marty, this creek that runs parallel to Georgia Southern's practice facility is supposed to have magical and mystical powers, and I think that's the reason that Georgia Southern has won 24 straight home playoff games.
But Carl, as you look at this creek, you can see there's no flow to it. It's starting to get overgrown. Maybe it's losing that magical power, and that magical power might just be shifted to Hofstra. They went down last week and beat Furman on the road. They had that magical power led by a senior defensive end, James Mayer. 9 stops on the day, 57 tackles for the year, 6 sacks. That magical power comes by his leadership. Look for them to dry up this creek.
But you see, of course, I have to disagree, and it's going to start to rise. The water level's coming up behind the running of Georgia Southern's number 3, Adrian Peterson. Last year, the Walter Payton Award winner, as the best football player, 1AA level. Why? In his career, he's rushed for over 200 yards 12 times, including 203 last week against McNeese. A bigger number, 31 straight games, 100 yards or more. Adrian Peterson has also hit the end zone 14 times this year. So don't tell me about drying up. Adrian Peterson is going to fill this creek up again, Marty.
Not today, Carl. It's drying up.
How do you know it's drying up?
Well, I told you, I took meteorology twice in college. I know when a creek's about ready to dry up.
Meteorology? Twice. Enough said, okay? Twice, meteorology. Yeah, the big outdoorsman. Yeah, you know everything. Anyway, as he thinks it's drying up, I think it's filling up. We'll find out right after this timeout. Opening kickoff, starting lineup, all after this. They were out early tailgating. It's the quarterfinals of the NCAA 1AA playoffs. The 11th seed Hofstra taking on the number 3 seed Georgia Southern from Allen E. Paulson Stadium on the campus of Georgia Southern in Statesboro. Carl Reuter along with Marty Lyons. And since you are such a meteorologist, Marty, why don't you tell everybody about the weather here today?
Well, first of all, Carl, it's a beautiful day for football. It's a slight overcast, probably about 35 to 40 degrees. Slight chance of rain. Precipitation will develop.
Marty, this is an outstanding program that Coach Joe Gardy, now in his 11th year of the Hofstra Pride, will have to tackle in today's game. The defending national champs, the Eagles from Georgia Southern, coached 4th year Paul Johnson, 43 years old, with an incredible record of what he's done here, Marty, in just a few years. 47-8. He has won the National Coach of the Year award his first 3 seasons. Take a look at the quarterfinal brackets and how everything sizes up for today. Not only is this game being played, but you also have Lehigh taking on Delaware. That game is already underway. We will get scores and give them to you as we go along. In this one, Western Kentucky App State, and of course Montana visiting, well, I should say Richmond and Montana out in Missoula.
And just to give you an update on that Delaware-Lehigh game at the end of the first quarter, Delaware up 14-10.
Joe Gardy's team will go on offense first. Kicking off for Georgia Southern will be number 40, Scott Shelton, a sophomore from nearby Savannah, Georgia. Kicking deep, waiting for it, number 11 will be Billy Morales to the near side. And number 32 for the Hofstra Pride, J.R. Santos. That is Morales, a daredevil who looks to get it going very quickly and early for the Hofstra Pride. The weather a factor, keeping the expected attendance of about 12,000 down, but still it is quarterfinal action underway from Statesboro. Morales from the 10. Near side, Morales picking up 20 on the kickoff return. Hofstra goes 1st and 10 on offense. This a beautiful field here at Statesboro. Hofstra already has its first play. Take a look at the quarterback, Rocky Butler, the junior last week, went to the air for one and also hit pay dirt twice, rushing in the victory over Furman. Hofstra spreads 5, trips to the top of the screen, and twins to the bottom of the screen. Quickly it goes out to Jason Maxwell with some room. Maxwell across the 40 has a first down. As we take a look at the rest of the Hofstra starters, an offensive line that has been a tremendous one in front of Rocky Butler this year. Curry, David, Zorga, and Burgandy doing the job. Butler, you saw as the quarterback. Trevor Dimmy, spectacular freshman year, has already set the single-season rushing mark, and a good quartet of receivers that Butler has to throw to. Now Hofstra going with trips to the bottom of the screen, and twins up high. Butler will work shotgun on another first down. Again, quickly. Charlie Adams busting it. A little short ball, but I believe Hofstra has recovered it, Marty.
Michael Burgandy, the offensive tackle down there to make that recovery, number 59. 19 yards on the play. Rocky Butler's going to go back, short pass to Charlie Adams to get some key blocks downfield. There's number 61, Dan Zorga, the center. Watch, the ball's going to pop out. And Burgandy, number 59, is going to recover it. David Young, number 18 for Georgia Southern, causing the fumble.
But Hofstra catching the early break, has the ball now inside Georgia Southern territory. Trevor Dimmy, first carry of the football game, able to pick up about 5 or 6. Checking out the defense for the Eagles from Georgia Southern. This, they play a 3-4. Watch the nose tackle, Gino Tutera. Youngblood, Neese, Ward, and Jones, the linebackers. And this a suspect secondary, Marty, that has been ravaged by injuries. In fact, a walk-on is starting for Georgia Southern. 2nd down and 5 for Hofstra from the Georgia Southern 37-yard line. Butler is chased. Butler scrambles very close for a Hofstra first down. Freddie Pescada in pursuit, number 44, part of that 3-man front, Marty, and Pescada, number 44, is a guy to be reckoned with. He's a first-team All-Southern Conference player.
At 6'1", 241 pounds, only a sophomore. Watch the pressure come. Nobody open downfield. Rocky Butler is going to rumble it up there. Gets short of picking up the first down, sets up a 3rd and 3 for the Pride.
Morales now in the crowd, perhaps a factor, and Rocky Butler calls for time. With 1 minute 47 gone by in this first quarter of the quarterfinals of the NCAA tournament, we are scoreless from Statesboro. Coming back with more right after this timeout. Carl Reuter with Marty Lyons back at Statesboro, Georgia. Quarterfinal action of the NCAA 1AA playoffs. Hofstra with a very important 3rd down and 3 from the Georgia Southern 35. This is the first possession of this football game. Butler will go to the air, perhaps scramble, finding some blockers, driven back, depending upon the spot. This will be a very tough call for the Hofstra coaches, whether or not they go for it if they fail.
Rocky Butler is going to come up about a half a yard short. Big decision right now for Joe Gardy. Sends out the punting unit. Nope.
He's sending out Chad Johnson, Marty. On the season, Chad Johnson, 9 of 19. Marty, this will be about 50 yards, and we saw early on in practice, in warm-ups, Johnson was clearing 50 plus.
Well, this will be a 51-yard attempt.
Longest of the season, 48 for Chad Johnson. And this one is off to the left. And this crowd on its feet as Georgia Southern holds, and Chad Johnson can't convert early on first quarter.
Well, right away they sent out the field goal team, but they were 1 player short. Tom Kemper The holder was late getting out. Chad Johnson gets plenty of lift, and the ball is going to drip slightly to the right. And Georgia Southern comes out with a very powerful offense.
Led by the quarterback, number 9, J.R. Revere, but he is not really the story. It's Adrian Peterson. But they pitch to Chris Johnson. Little flea flicker out there and waiting. It deflected. Doug Shanahan, the intended receiver, number 13, Andre Weathers.
Doug Shanahan just made a very athletic play. Could have gone up, probably intercepted a pass, but did get up to knock it down. Take a look at the end of play. Watch number 26. Doug Shanahan goes up with that right hand and knocks it down.
Shanahan on the season has 7 INTs, has returned 3 of them for touchdowns. 2nd down and 10 for Georgia Southern. Working from its own 34-yard line. First carry of the game, Adrian Peterson. What a story he is, but first we will take a look at the numbers of the quarterback, J.R. Revere from LaGrange, Georgia, 5'11", 184-pound junior. This is a guy who can get it done, whether it be on the ground or through the air. Does not throw much, but when he has to, Revere is able to throw. 3rd down and 7 for the Eagles, working with 11:45 left in this first quarter of action. Inside handoff is Peterson, and he is stuck on that 3rd down play. Picks up 2.
Joe Todd doing an excellent job, number 37, the outside linebacker, squeezing down the hole.
Rest of the Georgia Southern starters as they bring on the punt team, but there is the offensive line. McCoy, Everett, Clark, Anderson, and Collins. And you saw, obviously, with number 13, that slot back Andre Weathers can do along with Chris Johnson. They can get down the field, and Johnson listed as a wideout. He can throw the football. This will be Scott Shelton on to do the kicking for Georgia Southern. On the season, Shelton getting the job done, averaging about 38 yards a kick.
I'll show you where you can be. Anywhere
Morales. Morales is run out of bounds at the 31, a 25-yard punt, an 8-yard return, but let's check out the flag. Ohio Valley Conference officials working, and the referee today is Michael Purcell.
Looks like it's going to be on number 32, J.R. Santos. Holding.
So J.R. Santos to the sidelines.
She was sitting with the football player.
The call made by the referee, Michael Purcell.
As we take another look at Billy Morales trying to break it outside.
We're going this way now.
Number 10's there, Jason Maxwell. Flag comes in. The Pride starts off at their own 21-yard line.
1st and 10 with twins split out to both sides of Rocky Butler.
See how these guys are moving?
Trevor Dimmy is the running back. This is Dimmy. Dimmy on the cutback. Dimmy across the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
Gain of 14 yards on the carry by Trevor Dimmy. Does an excellent job waiting for his blocker downfield, which will be number 10, Jason Maxwell. Watch the block by Maxwell. Number 10 knocks the corner back outside. Trevor Dimmy knocks it back up inside, and they pick up a 1st down.
Dimmy early on, 2 carries for 19 yards in his 2nd playoff game for the freshman out of Tarrytown, New York. I should say Sleepy Hollow. Well, that's high school. Butler's in trouble. He's being chased. Piscata on the sack. Freddie Piscata. Loss of 7.
Piscata's just going to keep working and working. He's on Burgandy, number 59. Right side of your screen is number 44. Good coverage downfield. Nobody open. Rocky Butler waits too long to make the decision. And Piscata comes in with his 6th sack of the season.
He is a piece of work at 6'1", 241 pounds for Paul Johnson's defensive line. 2nd and 17, shotgun from the 26 for Hofstra. Again, Piscata all over Butler. Again, Piscata pulls him down from behind. Another loss, this one of a yard.
Well, this is a coverage sack. Nobody open downfield. And again, Rocky Butler holding the ball. Piscata's number 44. He's going to get cut at the line of scrimmage. Right there, he gets cut. He gets back up. Nobody open downfield, just second effort, and back-to-back sacks. And the crowd's starting to really get into the game.
Hofstra 0 for 1 in this game on third down conversions. On the season, Rocky Butler and Ryan Cosentino combined sacked only 19 times, already twice in the first 4.5 minutes. Butler looking home run and throws it over the head of Charlie Adams. Coverage by number 21, LeVar Rainey, who was a second-team All-Southern Conference cornerback. So Hofstra will be forced to punt. This will be Dennis Winters' first punt of the game. Winters this year averaged 37.5 along of 56. It's Anthony Williams to the near side, chased at the 46. A 45-yard punt for Winters, an 8-yard return for Anthony Williams. Hofstra defense, they need to get pressure. Williams, Fletcher, Brown, and Mayer, the front four for the Pride. This trio of linebackers continues to impress each and every week. And a secondary that pretty much has been taken over by the job that Doug Shanahan, Marty, has done this season. Revere, the pitch. With some room, running is Mark Myers. Myers is the sophomore from Powder Springs, Georgia, a pickup of 6.
Yeah, Georgia Southern goes with that option. Fake it to the fullback. The slot position comes all the way from the backside.
The man, though, is number 3, Adrian Peterson. We spent time with him yesterday. What a delight. Peterson takes the handoff, drives for a first down, just shy of the 40-yard line. 5 yards for Adrian Peterson, the junior, who pretty much has every single record when you talk about numbers in Georgia Southern history.
And, you know, I found it very interesting spending time with him yesterday. He talked about how he learned to shift the ball from the right hand to the left hand. At the early age of 6, his father took him in the backyard and put out a bunch of lawn furniture and taught him how to run in between them.
Revere, a little quick pitch, and going over the 35 to the 33-yard line was Adrian Peterson, a pickup of 7. Adrian Peterson's older brother is the starting linebacker for the Indianapolis Colts. We're talking about Michael Peterson at his playing days down in Florida for Steve Spurrier.
Eagles come out on their second possession playing power football, giving it to Peterson, back-to-back carries.
Second down and short. Call it 2 from the Hofstra 33. Revere takes the pitch, has the first down, and some more to the 23-yard line of Hofstra.
Revere's going to go man-to-man outside on the linebacker. Joe Todd has to make the decision what he's going to do. You see Revere, he sticks it in there, he pulls it out. There's Joe Todd right there, goes for the pitch. Nobody in there on the quarterback, and he's going to pick up a first down.
Georgia Southern, the Eagles moving the football. Peterson crossing the 20 to the 19-yard line.
Gets wrapped up there by number 94, Ryan Fletcher, number 49, Salalosi.
Marty, this is a Georgia Southern team that averages 6.6 yards on every first down play, so they're pretty much always setting it up for second down and short, which has got to kill in opposing defense.
Well, Adrian Peterson right there, he falls forward and he picks up 4 yards.
That exchange is so daring, but Peterson and Revere just have some great timing. Again, the give to Adrian Peterson, picking up 2 more.
And again, Salalosi and Ryan Fletcher in on the stop for the Pride.
6.5 minutes remaining in this first quarter of action from Statesboro, Georgia. Quarterfinals of the NCAA playoffs in 1AA. Part of the throng here. We'll get to these fans in just a moment. A little story to tell about how crazy these fans can get at times down south. This a 3rd and 4. Revere reversing. The pitch. Weathers. Can he get to the outside? He does. Look at the speed. Touchdown! Andre Weathers!
it. They're going to mark it just shy.
I'll tell you right now, they called that touchdown.
There it is, the
No
fake.
touchdown.
As one slot comes in, here's Weathers on the backside. Good solid play, though, by Doug Shanahan. No outside containment. Let's see if he steps out.
Wow, that's a touchdown. In fact, that is the field judge right there, Danny Doyle.
Now they're saying that he stepped out at about the 5-yard line. We'll get a better look from the end zone. You see the outside containment. It's not there. He's coming up on the 5.
I don't know. Well, we'll lose that score up there. This time, it's a touchdown. The quarterback, J.R. Revere, from 5 yards out.
And you have to like the play selection. You stick it into Peterson, everybody tackles him. That's going to clear out a spot there. He just jumps right in behind him, takes it in untouched from 5 yards out.
So the defending national champs strike first.
Another look at it. And another touchdown.
Scott Shelton for the point after. Chris Johnson will hold. And just like that, Georgia Southern, the Eagles on top by the score of 7-0 with 5:53 left in this first quarter. We're coming back with the Georgia Southern kickoff right after this. Timeout. Carl Reuter with Marty Lyons. There is the story. The defending national champs, Georgia Southern, strike first. A 5-yard touchdown run by the quarterback, J.R. Revere. 5:53 left in this first quarter of action. Kicking off right now will be Rob Baronis. He is a transfer, a senior from Auburn. They kind of flip-flop the place kickers here. Shelton had the point after. Baronis also does a lot of the field goal kicking as well. That is Baronis, the transfer from a school Marty knows so well, Auburn, and we heard the story last night at dinner. Never lost, 4 years at Alabama to Auburn.
Yeah, but Auburn really hammered him this year at Tuscaloosa, so I might as well put my stories in my back pocket.
Morales, 11 to the near side. J.R. Santos, 32, top of the screen, awaiting the kick. High end over end. Morales from the 9. Going far side, but gets bottled up at the 20-yard line. 11-yard return, and tackled by number 42, Chris O'Neill, the junior. First and 10 for the Hofstra Pride from its own 20-yard line. Rocky Butler will come out. He's been under some heavy pressure, Marty. Freddie Pescata, that defensive lineman, has been all over Rocky Butler in that first quarter. Butler comes to the near side, in and out of the hands. Jason Maxwell tried to run before he caught it. Maxwell is the senior from Wilmington, Delaware.
Two-step drop, throw out to Maxwell, trying to run before he catches the ball. Ball goes incomplete, 2nd and 10.
Uncharacteristic of a Jason Maxwell, a good possession receiver. Hofstra has twins on both sides of Butler. Trevor Dimmy, the lone running back. This is Dimmy. Dimmy bumped out just shy of the 30-yard line, picking up 8. And the freshman just jumping right back up from Tarrytown, New York, Sleepy Hollow High School.
Dimmy's going to pick up 7 yards, but he gets hammered. They run to the short side of the field. Michael Curry, 73, does an excellent job. Watch that pursuit by Georgia Southern to knock him out of bounds. Sets up a 32 situation for the Pride.
Butler, scrambling, drills, reception, no, in and out of the hands of Billy Morales. Hofstra forced the punt, bring on number 18, Dennis Winters.
Inside break by number 11 is Billy Morales. Watch where the ball's thrown, a little low, but you have to make that reception.
Morales had got inside the linebacker, Jason Neese. Winters, the left-footed kicker. And Williams is dropped.
J.R. Santos, number 32.
But
making a stop after a pickup of 1.
Good field position for Georgia Southern. starting at its own 41-yard line, already leading 7-0 with 5:21 left. First quarter from Statesboro, Georgia.
And if you're Joe Carter, you don't want to panic, but you cannot go 3 plays and out with this Georgia Southern team. They're just going to rack up some points. You have to play ball control. You have to move the chains to them.
Revere, pitch, Weathers. Weathers across midfield. Weathers bumped out of bounds at the Hofstra 43-yard line. 13 yards for number 13, Weathers, out of High Point, North Carolina.
Again, the inside fake. Here comes the slot, number 13. The option play. Now, again, no containment outside. And Weathers is going to get credit for picking up a first down. And a gain of 16.
Weathers last week had runs of 23 and 19 for touchdowns against McNeese State in the 42-17 Georgia Southern win in the opening round. Peterson looking bust tackles, but still falls forward with Kyle Thorne draped all over him, pick up a yard.
You see Georgia Southern's offensive line come out with those big splits, trying to spread that defense. Adrian Peterson is going to take it up this time. Gets credit for picking up 1, but Kyle Thorne, the outside linebacker, does an excellent job coming up and wrapping them up.
Kyle Thorne out of Long Beach Community College, San Pedro, California, the transfer. Very tight trio of linebackers with Todd, Alosi, and Thorne. In fact, Sal Alosi's father is here, and his mom, Laura, hosting a party back in Massapequa, New York. Speaking of that trio of linebackers, Joe Todd throwing the running back for a loss of 3. And that back was number 22, Z. Walden.
Well, again, if you can stretch the play and take the outside containment, you can contain this offense. Here it is, the fake. Now the pitch to Peterson outside. Look at the hustle by Joe Todd, Sal Alosi coming from the inside. Peterson has nowhere to go.
Wrapped up by Todd around the ankles on a 3rd and 9. Wide open first down, reception made. Chris Johnson, the single-season catcher as far as yards, 673. That was a record here at Georgia Southern this year.
Revere goes back, no pressure on him. Outside route by Johnson, and they pick up a first down.
The ball now at the Hofstra 30 after the 12-yard pickup on the reception by Chris Johnson out of Americus, Georgia. Revere throwing a lot more than we've known it to. Weathers had beaten Shanahan, but the pass overthrown.
Play action fake. Trying to suck those defensive backs up close to the line of scrimmage. Throws a middle post pattern, just overthrows his receiver.
Second down for J.R. Revere and the Eagles from Georgia Southern, leading it by the score of 7-0 with 3:49 left in this first quarter of action from Statesboro, Georgia.
Good luck right there. Doug Shanahan, number 26, 7 interceptions on the season.
Revere fakes the pitch, holds on over the 25 to the 24-yard line, a gain of 7, making it 3rd down and 3 for the Eagles.
Well, every time they send Peterson into the line of scrimmage, they got 2 defenders wrapping them up. Quarterback pulls the ball out. Watch the 2 defenders come in on the fullback. Revere fakes outside, then throws it up inside, and he picks up 7. Sets up a 3rd and 4 situation.
Straight ahead, first down and more. Adrian Peterson, 6 more yards for the junior fullback.
Power football. Take that fullback, run him up over the guard's block. And when he has the talent of Adrian Peterson, he's going to pick up the 4 yards and more.
Marty, this is dangerous territory for Hofstra. The offense has not really gotten it going. The defense now out there. These long drives by Georgia Southern just pushing and pressing that defense could get tired early on. Revere, little reverse, open field, cutback, touchdown, J.R. Revere, 18 yards.
Working on a short field, they only had to go 60 yards for this touchdown. J.R. Revere, 2nd score of the afternoon. Watch the fake. Comes back outside. Now he sees an opening. Great vision. No defenders on the inside of the field, and just pure athletic ability. 18 yards and the touchdown.
Scooted right past Kyle Thorne. Scott Shelton out to attempt the point after. Chris Johnson will hold. 14-0 for Georgia Southern with 2:45 left in this first quarter of play.
And Joe Gardy better find a way to put out this fire. This team has averaged 47 points a game. And already in the first quarter, 14 points as we take another look. He reverses out. Then he cuts back inside. No pursuit, a lot of white jerseys on the ground. Give credit to that offensive line doing a good job up front blocking.
Marty, elsewhere in the quarterfinals of 1AA, yet to kick it off, App State at Western Kentucky. Richmond and Montana will go as well at 2 o'clock Eastern time. Delaware with 2:59 remaining in the second quarter, leading Lehigh by the score of 28-10. So the Blue Hens, led by Tubby Raymond, really doing it early on to Lehigh.
But one thing Joe Gardy has to do, he cannot let his team get down on themselves. There's only 14 points, but you really have to go out and establish some sort of offense and try to move the ball.
Scott Shelton, as Georgia Southern rotating on the kickoff. This time it's Shelton. Last time it was Baronis. Still deep, near side of and to the far side, J.R. Santos, number 32. This is a short kick. Morales from the 7. Morales straight ahead. Oh, upended there. Morales upended by number 21, LeVar Rainey. Open field tackle. In fact, this year on special teams, Rainey leads Georgia Southern with 14 tackles.
Watch Rainey. He's number 21, going to come inside. Morales has to keep the ball back inside. Would have got a block right there by number 83, which was Tommy Kemper. Goes back outside. Rainey for Georgia Southern does an excellent job making the stop.
Hofstra puts it in play. 1st and 10 from its 25, trailing by 14. Jimmy, and the pressure is there. Coming through number 90, Tino Cassera. When they were showing blitz, Marty, it looked like Michael Ward, 47, was coming from that inside linebacker position.
Michael Ward cheating from the inside to the outside, showing blitz all the way. Almost hits Trevor Dimmy. Watch the right side of your screen. Here comes the blitz. He comes in. Trevor Dimmy, very fortunate to get close to the line of scrimmage.
Pull it a loss of 1, 2nd and 11. Drill and unable to hold on. Number 8, Kamal Roy, the junior from Hempstead, New York. 3rd and long, 11 for Hofstra.
Well, again, when your offense is struggling, your receivers, they have to come up with that reception. Ball's thrown a little low. Does it down and out, but you have to come up with that reception.
Update, Delaware now leading at 31-10 halftime down in Newark, Delaware. Well, I should say up in Newark, Delaware. Hofstra 0 for 3 on 3rd down conversions in this first quarter. That shows 1:59 left on the clock. Jason Maxwell thrown behind. Once again, Hofstra forced to punt.
Once again, 3 and out. Your defense isn't getting any opportunity. Number 1, to make adjustments. Number 2, to take a breather. Your offense 3 and out. Their backs are going to be against the wall if they keep playing like this.
Almost going to be like the defense is going to have to be forcing a turnover to try to make something happen. Letting it bounce, getting out of the way. This will be down by Jason Maxwell, who's claiming a Georgia Southern player had touched it, but the officials saying no. 1st and 10 for the Eagles.
Maxwell trying to say that Cooper, number 23, the ball bounced up and hit him in the back. The officials not buying that.
Well, here comes J.R. Revere. 2 touchdowns rushing in this game, 1 from 5 and 1 from 17.
And they both touchdowns coming relatively easy, moving the ball right down the field. Only 1 3rd and long situation, but they picked that one up.
Correct myself, it was an 18-yard touchdown in that second one. Stacked up, perhaps a loss on that 1st down rush. I believe Ryan Fletcher, 94, in there. stopping Adrian Peterson. No gain on the play.
But again, you see what Georgia Southern's trying to do. Put it in there to Peterson on first down plays, pickup of 1 on the play, but then come back with that play fake to him and then run the option.
1:20 and counting, first quarter. Statesboro, Georgia, defending national champs at 1AA. Georgia Southern on top, 14-0. Revere wants to throw. Wide open, Chris Johnson inside the 35 to the 33-yard line. Chris Johnson on the season, the leading pass catcher, came in with 32.
Croft, there's another term for wide open. We're going to find it. Look at this, no defender, middle of the field until number 26, Doug Shanahan, comes over way late. The play action fake, middle of the field, nobody's covering them. 29 yards later, another first down. Dervelis was number 28 coming over late on the play.
This a potent offense who wants more. Slipping along the near side, the intended receiver was number 85, Titus Johnson, the senior from Hartwell, Georgia.
Well, one thing about playing these southern teams, when they feel that they can get you down,
they get you down.
And they're going to try to hold you down. That's why 5 times they've won the national championship, 85, 86, 89, 90, and 99. Last year.
They were in the championship game in 98, lost to UMass, so conceivably this could have been a 2-time defending. Look at this guy just carry people. Adrian Peterson, 15 more yards inside the 20-yard line.
He said to us yesterday, just call me AP. I'll keep it simple for you.
AP, who can you put 2 more letters after that, TD, because that's what this guy does. 14 touchdowns on the ground, caught 1 through the air this year. He knows what pay dirt is all about. But again, I'm going to say it, better person than a football player. And he's a great football player. Speaking of greatness, guess who's got that ball, driving it to the 10, pickup of 8 more, Adrian Peterson. 12 times in his career, Peterson has rushed for 200-plus yards, including last week, 203 in the win over McNeese. Just look at him carry bodies. In fact, last year in the championship game, carried 6 would-be tacklers against Youngstown to the end zone. 6. I said, do you remember? He says, nah, I just remember knocking them over and getting there. Stay on the ground, and why not when they turn up the yardage they do as the first quarter comes to an end. And boy, this one was all Georgia Southern, leading it by the score of 14-0. The faithful at Paulson Stadium on the campus of Georgia Southern in Statesboro. Tonight at 7, the Rangers continue their battle for the top spot in the Atlantic Division when they travel north to take on the Toronto Maple Leafs. Geico Rangers game night, getting it started at 6:30. The puck drops at 7. Don't miss Rangers hockey tonight, only on Metro.
Well, Carl, we talked about that first quarter being dominated by Georgia Southern. Adrian Peterson, 13 carries, 61 yards.
Ouch.
J.R. Revere, 4 carries, 39 yards.
Ouch again. Peterson smelling the end zone, getting it to the 3-yard line.
And here's the big number for that first quarter. Georgia Southern, 175 total offensive yards.
Ouch.
The Pride of Hofstra, 45.
Should I say ouch for a 4th time?
Well, they score here. We may have to break out the Band-Aids and the sutures. No more butterfly stitches holding this one together, folks.
2nd down and 3. Georgia Southern up 14, looking for more. 3rd touchdown of the game for J.R. Revere. Touchdown runs now of 15, 18, and now 3.
But again, it's the same play. They stick it into Peterson, pull it back out, and then just run off his block inside. Wide open.
Scott Shelton for the point after as you get another look. There it is. Boom. Quick time right to the end zone.
Boy, Georgia Southern coming out early, cutting you off at your knees.
Boy, telling you to get back on the bus, go to the airport, have a nice season. Movement and flags coming through. Once again, Ohio Valley Conference officials led by the referee, Michael Purcell.
Well, what's going to be interesting is Dave Brock, the rookie offense coordinator, has his work come out.
Dead ball. Full start on the offense. 5 yards. Repeat the try.
He's got his work cut out, Carl, to get this team back on the field where, you know what, you have to have some possession. As you look at Bobby McIntyre to the right side of your screen, he's the linebacker coach.
Yeah, Hofstra has been burnt with 3 and out so far in this one. Again, we have movement. Again, we have flags.
And again, we have the crowd getting into the game.
Penalty on the play. Now let's see what the call is made.
Dead ball. Full start. Offense. 5 yards. Repeat the try.
The one thing Joe Gardy stressed all week to his players, you had to come down and play with an attitude. We've yet to see that attitude.
Well, he said Georgia Southern, which has gotten flagged a whole lot this year, are nasty on the field. The long extra point put through by Scott Shelton. It was a 30-yard extra point, and J.R. Revere, well, he wants to keep those legs going. He's found the end zone 3 different times, but let's stay loose on a raw day down south. But look at that. He's got a smile in there somehow, doesn't he, Marty?
What a great love kid. That.
Yeah.
Here's a guy who ran out there, took control of the offense, 175 total yards. On the other side of the field, though, Joe Gardy trying to tell his guys, keep your heads up. It's not over yet.
Well, it isn't over. I mean, you're only 34 seconds into this second quarter, but you have to say, hey, guys, 21-0. Well, not over, but a tall mountain now to get up there and get to the top and try to come back down the other side as he talks to Salalosi.
But not defending the defense. Now, your offense has to move the ball. Yeah. You know Georgia Southern's going to score some points. They have a lot of talent. But you can't expect your defense to constantly go out 3 plays, and not get any help from your offense.
Marty, that's a tired unit already, that defense. And as I said, only 34 seconds into this second quarter of play. That's 21-0. So we will wait for the kickoff. And let's see if Georgia Southern continues. And yes, they do continue to rotate. This will be number 87, Rob Baronis, the transfer from Auburn, will kick off this time as deep to the top of the screen, Billy Morales, number 11. Bottom of the screen, number 32, J.R. Santos.
And the Pride only 15 offensive plays compared to Georgia Southern, 25.
Morales from about the 8. Far side, Morales chased out of bounds, getting close, maybe crossing the 30 to about the 31-yard line for the senior from Far Rockaway, New York. LeVar Rainey slow to get up, and the sportsmanship of Billy Morales helping him.
Billy Morales possibly playing in his last game, a senior. As we look at Rocky Butler coming out, Rocky Butler's numbers only completed 2 of 7 today for 27 yards.
Needs to get something going, down 21-0 to the Georgia Southern Eagles. 24 straight home playoff wins right here at Paulson Stadium. Trevor Dimmy getting the call. Dimmy driving it to the 40-yard line. But Marty, that's an incredible number. 24 straight home playoff wins for the Eagles.
And remember yesterday we were trying to figure out how long that went back to.
Trying to figure out, was it 3 years, 4 years? You know, how many times have they played now? Do they play on campus for the championship game?
We get late in this game. We have a lot of numbers to throw out.
We could throw out numbers that if we started now, we might be lucky and get them all on by the end of the telecast. And championship banners, you heard Marty say earlier, they won in 1985, 86, 89, 90, and 99, and in 98 lost to UMass in that national championship game. This is college football country.
And they've already got the order in for a larger flagpole for next year.
And we saw a look at Adrian Peterson's championship ring yesterday. It was a beauty as Trevor Dimmy again getting the call over the 45, 4 more yards for the freshman, number 22, broke Mike Cadella's single-season rushing record. It was a 13-year record, and the freshman Dimmy came in and got the job done.
But again, they're keeping the possession of the ball, moving it downfield.
There you go. There's a ring. That's what it's all about, Marty, isn't it? That hardware.
Really is.
Shotgun on 2nd and 6. Caught far side, Jason Maxwell tight ropes inside the 40 to the 37-yard line. So Hofstra able to move the chains on this possession.
Well, they're starting to show you something. What they have to do is believe. You have to play from the shoulders up. Your guys have to believe that they can go out there and compete. Take what the defense is giving you. Jason Maxwell picks up a first down.
Rocky Butler, 3 of 8 for 44 yards in this football game. Dimmy on the cutback, still on his feet, diving ahead very close to another Pride first down.
Going to get credit for picking up 8 yards on the carry. Trevor Dimmy cutting it back behind Rich Holzer, number 78. Gets a block downfield, 2nd and 2 for the Pride.
Long count by Butler. Off the delay, it's Dimmy, and Dimmy is driven for a loss. Chris O'Neal, a loss of 2, but O'Neal, that junior from Alachua, Florida, right in there.
Well, when your defensive linemen are holding the offensive linemen up, this is what can happen. Chris O'Neal, 42, comes in, pops. Trevor Dimmy sets up a 3rd and 3 situation.
Approaching 12 minutes remaining in this first half. 21-0. Georgia Southern on top. Georgia Southern, the number 3 seed in this tournament field. Hofstra, the number 11 seed. Butler to Dimmy. Dimmy is held short. And now a big decision for Coach Joe Gardy. Do you go for it on 4th and about 3, or do you try to pooch punt?
Well, I think you have to go for it. You're 21 points behind. At some point in this game, you have to show some confidence in your offense. And again, Georgia Southern comes with an outside blitz, number 41, Michael Youngblood. They're showing it well before the snap. Joe Gardy right now decides to go for it. 55% of the time this season, they've picked it up.
On 4th down conversions, Hofstra 6 of 11. Calling it 4th and 2. Butler will throw. Caught, or is it? First down, going down and getting it, Kamal Roy. Big catch on 4th and 2.
Quick slant, throw it where nobody else can catch it but your receiver. Ball goes down. And a nice reception for Kamal Roy.
Which will make his mom, Loretta Fields, feel very happy. She is in attendance.
Again, flying down with us. A lot of the families. Trevor Dimmy's mom and sister flying down with us.
Hofstra showing trips to the near side. 1st and 10 from the Georgia Southern 28-yard line. Dimmy right up the gut. Trevor and Dimmy spinning his way inside the 10, down at the 7.
Dave Brock doing an excellent job now. Knowing that your offense has gotten in trouble every time there's an incomplete pass. This time you go to Trevor Dimmy right up the middle of the field. 16 yards later, it's a first down, and they're inside the 10.
Big 1st and goal for Hofstra from the 7, trailing 21-0. 10:45 remaining first half. Dimmy's the ball carrier. Dimmy getting inside the 5 before being stopped by number 44, Freddie Pescata.
Pescata again coming in to make the stop. He's going to get credit for picking up a couple yards though.
2nd down and goal for Hofstra. They spot the ball at the 5-yard line.
Pick up a 3 on the carry by Trevor Dimmy.
Hofstra with twins split out. Both sides. Bottom of the screen, number 88, Charlie Adams. Top of the screen, number 8, Kamal Roy. Butler with time, a little fade. Out of bounds. Charlie Adams couldn't hold the feet in there. Covered there by number 23, Drake Cooper.
Charlie Adams needed another 5 yards to stay in the end zone. Ball well overthrown.
Charlie Adams is a junior from Camp Hill, Pennsylvania.
Another look at it. You see Charlie Adams jump. About 5 yards.
There's that eagle right there. You caught that. Folks, that should be 2nd quarter. It's 9:59 remaining in the second quarter here in Statesboro, Georgia. Third and goal from the 5. Morales, 11 in motion. Butler picking up perhaps 2 more to about the 3-yard line,
where he gets knocked out by number 42, Chris O'Neal.
And Hofstra will opt to go for the field goal. Chad Johnson attempted in the first quarter and was wide. He will come out here and try to get the first 3 points on the board for the Pride. This will be a 20-yard field goal attempt for Chad Johnson, now 9 of 20 on the campaign, missed earlier from 51. Hofstra with some very important points with 9:47 left in this first half, now down 21-3.
And you know, Carl, I think that's a good decision right there for Joe Gardy. You need points, take them, show your offense you can score.
This Tuesday, don't miss the sports section with Bill Patrick here on Metro. This week, the sports section takes you on a trip from Sports Talk Radio to a ringside seat with Lennox Lewis's Cutman. Plus, an inside look, yes, at women's professional football. That's the sports section with Bill Patrick this Tuesday at 7, only on Metro. Women's professional football, huh, Marty?
Should be interesting.
Get into that.
I think they should have equal opportunity.
Okay. Will not agree. I'm going to watch for that because I want to see what the women's professional football is all about. Chad Johnson will kick it off. This is the up man taking it was number 45. Excuse me, number 46 bringing it back for the Eagles was James Burkett. And Georgia Southern will have it 1st and 10 from its own 35-yard line, leading it by the score of 21-3, and J.R. Rivera is the man today. 3 touchdowns. He has accounted for all the Georgia Southern Eagles scores this afternoon. Rivera wants more. Going to the outside. Rivera is getting a whole bunch and then thrown out of bounds late by Doug Shanahan. Crowd looking for a flag, perhaps unsportsmanlike, for that late toss or even a late hit.
There it is. He's going to stick it into Peterson again. Got Weathers on the backside. Now he's going to use Weathers as a blocker. Going to scramble down.
15 yards on the carry. 1st and 10, Georgia.
And 15 yards on the carry. You look at it, you see Doug Shanahan trying to hold him up.
Pitch, taken, higher, still on his feet, cut to the outside, still on his feet, cuts back again. Look at this guy go! Oh, Myers picked him up, put him down, spectacular, maintain his balance, picking up 35 yards for number 34.
You talk about exciting football. We're right here at it.
38
the fake brings it out. Now the pitch, and watch the strong running by Myers. 38 yards. Runs over Robert Thomas. Cuts back. 38 yards later.
Knocking on the door. 1st and 10 Georgia Southern from the Hofstra 11. They go on that inside handoff for 2 yards. Coming up from the bottom of that pile will be Adrian Peterson. There is Peterson.
Along with number 43, Adam Brown, in on the stop.
This one in danger of now getting away from the Pride. Should Georgia Southern put another touchdown on the board, it would be 28-3, and we've got 8:45 left in this first half. Revere reversing and dropped immediately. 94, Ryan Fletcher, the transfer from UConn, 6'1", 290-pound junior from Glen Cove, New York, on the stop.
Ryan Fletcher rolling them over there. Revere's not too happy about that. Gets up, tosses the ball back down at him.
Almost like your favorite sport there, like the pile driver in wrestling. You were watching that again this morning. Why? You enjoyed that.
Little WWF?
Yeah, he was watching it. He goes, look how the guy's hitting him with the inside of his forearm. Really got involved.
I was breaking it down for you.
Yeah, I know that. Just like Georgia Southern is breaking down this Hofstra team right now. Revere wants to throw, and it might have been deflected. The intended receiver was Adrian Peterson coming out of the backfield. It was thrown short.
Well, it was deflected at the line of scrimmage by number 37, Joe Todd. Watch 37, right side of your screen, going to go up.
Yeah, Joe Todd definitely got a hand on that.
The ball, but Georgia Southern back out to attempt a 25-yard field goal.
There's Joe Todd, senior from Mansfield, Mass. Scott Shelton on to attempt. Again, Chris Johnson will hold this from 25 yards out. Off the angle. And with 7:58 remaining in this first half, Georgia Southern able to answer the three-pointer. Scott Shelton getting back the three that Chad Johnson put on the board moments ago. 24-3, Eagles over the Pride. Good teams, Marty, regardless whether it's a touchdown or a field goal, they come right back and get those points back. They just continue to pressure you.
Well, you can see Paul Johnson right there in the middle of your screen with the big smile on his face. They really enjoy football down here as we take a good look at the band and some of the fans. They've been standing most of the game.
Well, you know what? Sometimes they enjoy it too much. In fact, on the far side, behind the Hofstra bench, you see it's kind of like blocked off there, almost like a batter's eye in center field at a Major League Baseball stadium. You know why that was put there? The NCAA reprimanded the school last year for impolite fan behavior. So to keep the people back about 10 or 12 rows, especially midfield right behind the benches, you got to protect the opposition. And I'm sure you've been in some hostile territory as well as a player, not only in college but in the pros. You got to give a little bit of respect to the opponent.
Well, you do, and it's even worse when you're now 21 points behind, because these fans right here, they love their football.
They want another national championship. Winner of this game will take on the winner of the Lehigh-Delaware game. Remember, at the half, Delaware was leading Lehigh by the score of 31-10 in Newark, Delaware. Short kick. Joe Coleman, fair catching, 23, and J.R. Santos, when he was right there, waiting to take that and come upfield.
Joe Coleman makes a mental mistake here. You got two guys deep. They can field this ball on the run and at least pick up another 5 to 10 yards. Your offense needs that yardage.
Bill Gardy now talking with Joe Coleman. Hofstra now spreading 4 to the top of the screen. Lone wideout to the bottom is Charlie Adams, who's in motion now. And reverse, Charlie Adams. And what? Going nowhere is Charlie Adams. No gain. Georgia Southern, the Eagles, not biting at all.
I did not like that play selection at all. The previous possession, you had Trevor Dimmy back there picking up some positive yards. Charlie Adams comes in motion, the quick handoff, and watch the defense. They stretch it, and Charlie Adams nowhere to go. And now, 2nd and 10, you find yourself in a slight hole.
Team wanted to go vertical, did Hofstra, about 5 to 8 times in this game. Instead, they're going horizontal. Trevor Dimmy, the ball carrier. Wrapped over the 25-yard line. 2 yards for Trevor Dimmy. The stop made again. Number 44, Freddie Pescata. This Georgia Southern defense, which has been vulnerable this year, Marty, showing no signs of giving up points.
Pescata's coming out. He's had that feeling. He knows what it's like to be on a national championship team. Number 44, he's only 6'1", 241 pounds. Excellent quickness up front.
You have Adrian Peterson and J.R. Revere, all the talk was offense. This is a defense, as I said, giving up points. That is batted down, deflected on that 3rd down, and Dennis Winters will come out for the defense that gives up 18 points a game, once again forcing Hofstra to kick it away.
3 plays and out. Your offense is putting a lot of pressure on your defense right now.
A tired defense at that. Winters again will kick. Taken there, flag is thrown. To get out of there was Anthony Williams, still on his feet, and then dragged down from behind by number 51, Andre LeBrute, special teams tackle for the Hofstra Pride. And let's check out the flag, a 33-yard punt for Dennis Winters. Paul Johnson looking on, fourth-year head coach. As I mentioned, a record of 47-8 coming in. Your referee is Michael Purcell. But Marty, again, going back to Johnson, you have to say it again. National Coach of the Year, 3 years running.
Started 2-yard belt, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Not allowing the punter to receive the kick. See Paul Johnson right there. We talked to Adrian Peterson yesterday. Said, you know what? He's got a great sense of humor. He'll allow you to make a mistake. Just don't make it twice.
I don't think Adrian Peterson makes mistakes. Revere with a hold there. Then the pitch. Football picked up by Hofstra. Are they going to say that Myers was out of bounds? Because Doug Shanahan fielded that cleanly on the hop.
Incomplete pass. Pass was through forward and incomplete. Second down. Yeah, Georgia Southern.
Incomplete? Doug Shanahan with a little...
As we take another look at it,
don't know about this. Check this out.
Revere's going to come back. Let's see where he is. He's on the... Good call. Good forward pass.
Okay. Second down and 10. 6:47 remaining. Revere drills. Caught. Johnson, nice catch between Robert Thomas and Jason Howard. 11 more yards for the Eagles.
And tack on another 15 yards. James Mayer going to get a call for hitting the quarterback late.
Wow, the roof caving in on the Pride in quarterfinal action.
No doubt about this flag.
I think they ruled the pass incomplete. And now the 15 yards. Let's see. No, they ruled that.
Ruled it a completion.
And then tacked on the 15, yes.
Right. James Mayer way late on that hit on the quarterback.
You just can't give up yardage to a team like Georgia Southern. They can get plenty on its own. Split out far to the left is Derek Owens. I mean wide left. Revere caught from behind at the 25-yard line by number 94, Ryan Fletcher. A gain of 4. I wanted to almost said Paul Revere, but it's J.R. Revere.
Well, they're keeping it simple. You know, there's not a lot of plays you have to defend. You just have to be good at it. You have to be disciplined. Everybody on defense has to take care of their responsibility, and right now there's a lot of pressure on this Pride's defense.
In motion was Weathers. The ball carrier is Peterson on the carry. 4 more yards from Adrian Peterson. The tackle by number 37 for Hofstra, Joe Todd.
Joe Todd, an outstanding outside linebacker. A lot of NFL scouts are looking at him. At 6 feet, 220 pounds, a senior.
Mansfield, Massachusetts, the home of Joe Todd. They go inside. Again, Todd is there, dragging down Adrian Peterson. So Joe Todd becoming very active. This a 4th and 1.
There's no question in my mind. You just go for it.
When you're leading like you are, 24-3.
Well, how about it? You give it to Adrian Peterson. Yeah. He's carried the ball over 250 times this season, and only 26 times he's been stopped for a loss.
4th down conversions this year, 13 of 31, 42% for Georgia Southern. And now Revere, I think, was going to try and draw Hofstra offside. Instead calls for time with exactly 5 minutes remaining in this first half of play. Timeout on the field. We're coming back with the decision. Does Georgia Southern kick, or do they go on 4th down? 24-3, 5 minutes remaining in this first half. Georgia Southern So far in this first half, Marty, 205 yards rushing. One of the reasons they're up 24-3.
Well, remember last year against Youngstown State in the championship game, they rushed for over 600 yards.
This is a 4th and 1. Adrian Peterson nearly broke it, but still has enough for the first down, picking up 7 more yards.
And if James Mayer doesn't reach out and grab him by the shoelace, it is a touchdown. Left side of your screen, James Mayer, number 81, is going to slide in after he gets knocked off the ball to make the stop.
1st and 10 for Georgia Southern from the 12. Revere, the pitch, it's a loose football, still on the ground, and I believe the Pride have recovered. The Hofstra Pride, Sal Alosi, the senior, Massapequa, New York, on the recovery. A big play for the Hofstra Pride.
And maybe that's the lift this offense needs. J.R. Revere going out to pitch it to number 22, which is Walden. Ball comes out, and look who comes up with it from Massapequa, number 49, Sal Alosi.
So I'm sure the Alosi household in Massapequa, led by Sal's mom, Laura, a very happy home right now. Can the Pride convert? Trevor Dimmy still on his feet. Picking up 8 yards, 2nd and short, watching the clock inside 4.5 minutes remaining for Joe Gardy's club, trailing by 21.
But again, you're being very successful running the ball. You're picking up some positive yards right there. Trevor Dimmy's going to get credit for picking up 8 yards on first down. 2nd and 2 for the Pride.
Rocky Butler behind Dan Zorger. Long count. Dimmy. First down on a gain of 3 for the freshman Trevor Dimmy. 3:56 left. They will start the clock once they reset the chains.
First down for the Pride.
So Hofstra, as Marty said, have been successful running the football out of a run-and-shoot offense. Stay on the ground at Dimmy. Sheds 1 tackler, sheds a 2nd one, and gets it out to the 40-yard line. Again, that low center of gravity for the freshman, 5'7", 195 pounds, picking up 8 more yards.
But again, on first down selection, you get a good block right there by number 74, James Davis. Good balance by Trevor Dimmy. You give your offense such a big advantage coming into a 2nd and short situation.
Trevor Dimmy now 15 carries, 88 yards. Now Hofstra is showing pass. Rocky Butler, quarterback keep. Butler over midfield to the 48-yard line of Georgia Southern. 13 yards for the junior quarterback from Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Little wrinkle we haven't seen all year by Hofstra. Dave Brock, the offense coordinator. Good block right here by Burgandy, 59. And then Rocky Butler sticks it up there, picks up 13 yards.
Rain again beginning to fall here at Paulson Stadium, Statesboro, Georgia. 3:25 left in the first half. Hofstra with the ball, down by 21. Far side, reception made. Kamal Roy was tripped up after the catch by number 23, Drake Cooper, the junior from Powder Springs, Georgia.
Little momentum right now for the Pride. Good ISO on number 8, Kamal Roy, down and out. And a pickup of 8 yards on the reception.
2nd down, 2. You hear the crowd. Well, they're really into it. Boy, it's a rain. It'll be a rain-soaked crowd by the end of this one, but they're enjoying Eagles football. Not enjoying another first down. Look at Trevor Dimmy drive to the 30-yard line. 6 more yards for Dimmy.
Again, Dimmy running it in there strong, getting a good push by the offensive line. James Davis, 74. Key block. And then Trevor Dimmy, 6 yards. They pick up a first down.
3:08 as the clock continues now. 16 carries, 95 yards. Dimmy once again doing some dashing. Hofstra with twins split out of both sides of Rocky Butler. Stand the ground, why not? Trevor Dimmy close to another first down to the 21 of Georgia Southern. See where they spot it, whether or not they move the chains or is it second and short.
Second and short, coming up about a half yard short of picking up 10 yards.
2.5 minutes remaining first half.
Trevor Dimmy finding a lot of success right now, running behind that left side of the offensive line.
Pick up the first down. Remember, this drive has started because of the fumble recovery by Sal Alosi. 2:21, and they will start the clock in about a second. There it goes. Need to convert. 3 is not the thing that you want here, Marty. You need 6. You have to hit the end zone on this drive. Butler, quick throw. Morales, flag, far side of the field.
Make sure they get the call over there.
Somebody you hear down on the field saying make sure they get the call.
There has to be movement on the offensive line.
And I'm going to say it was on Michael Burgandy, who did look up quickly before the snap. Procedure, we don't know unless we see it. In college, unlike the pros, you do not get the number of the player. Joe Gardy yelling at someone. Don't know who. When he's got headsets on, he means business, because normally Coach Joe Gardy doesn't use headsets. Push it back, first and 15 for Hofstra from the Georgia Southern 25. Off the draw. Jimmy getting back the 5 plus maybe 2 more inside the 20. Spotted at the 19-yard line. 1:40 left on the clock. Hofstra really not in much of a hurry here. Taking the play in from the sidelines.
Well, Trevor Dimmy will go in Georgia Southern's record book. Only the 4th player to rush for over 100 yards this season against their defense.
That would be the 9th time this season Dimmy has gone over the century mark in a game.
18 carries, 110 yards.
Far side catch made after the reception. Drake Cooper all over Kamal Roy. A pickup of 5, 1:06 left.
Drake Cooper at 5'7", 157 pounds, a junior. 10 tackles on the season, 1 forced fumble. Comes up. Good strong tackle on Kamal Roy. Sets up a 3rd situation.
Drill, can't hold on. Kamal Roy bumped from behind. LeVar Rainey, the big-time play. Rainey out of Fort Gordon, Georgia, 2nd team All-Southern Conference.
Kamal Roy cuts it down. Rainey, great job of timing up that pass to knock it down. Incomplete. Chad Johnson comes out, will attempt a 31-yard field goal.
So Johnson, 1 of 2, missed from 51, connected earlier in this quarter. Now attempting 31 yards. Tom Kemper will hold. The kick is no good. Hofstra cannot take advantage of the fumble recovery. Chad Johnson missing for the 2nd time in this football game. Missed from 51, just missed from 31. He made it from 20, and time to scratch your head. 40 seconds remain, and it just sails past the upright.
Believe it or not, Georgia Southern has plenty of time.
I'll tell you right now, they're not sitting on this football. The quick hit, Ryan Fletcher reading that right away of Adrian Peterson. Now with 30 seconds, maybe they just run it out. Maybe they just run it out and walk off the field with a 24-3 halftime lead in this quarterfinal action of the 1AA playoffs. The number 3 seed, Georgia Southern, looking to repeat.
Well, in reality, 21 points down, if you make the proper adjustments, get your offense moving, you still got 30 minutes of football left.
And the winner of this one apparently will take on Delaware, now leading Lehigh by the score of 40-10. 6 minutes remaining in the third quarter at Delaware. So the Hofstra Pride, trailing by the score of 24-3, need to get something going. And boy, oh boy, when we get a chance to talk with head coach Joe Gardy, got to ask him about how you stop this attack of the Eagles. There is the Eagle here. Boy, that is a statue that opposing teams have to look at when they come into Paulson Stadium. As you look at some of the faithful here hanging out in the rain as we hold on for the head coach, Joe Gardy from Hofstra. And the coach has joined us, Coach Joe Gardy, Carl Reuter with Marty Lyons. Question is, your defense out there, they've got to be tired. A lot of 3 and outs early on, but Coach, do you hear us? Coach? Coach Joe Gardy, do you hear us?
I can't hear anybody.
All right, obviously having some audio problems. We'll try to get back with the coach. Right now it's halftime, and Georgia Southern leading it by the score of 24-3. Well, that Eagle is waving that flag proudly. Georgia Southern leading it by the score of 24-3, getting ready for the start of the third quarter. Carl Reuter along with Marty Lyons here in Statesboro, Georgia. All Eagles in the first half of action, Marty. They just pile up some rushing yardage for Paul Johnson's club.
208 yards rushing on 32 attempts for Georgia Southern. On the other side of the ball, Joe Gardy's rushing game, not too bad. 27 carries, 123 yards.
Most of that by Trevor Dimmy. Hofstra will kick off to start this third quarter of play from Paulson Stadium on the campus of Georgia Southern. Deep by himself. Number 13 is Andre Weathers. We know he's got speed. He's the junior from High Point, North Carolina. There is Weathers, middle of your screen. Chad Johnson will kick it off. Once again, the folks here with the umbrellas and the parkas and the, I guess those plastic raincoats because of the rain that's coming down. From the 5 is Weathers. Weathers to the outside. And then not knocked down. Jason Howard missed. Forced back a couple of yards. Where number 44 for Hofstra making the tackle was Larry Kelly from Manasquan, New Jersey, a freshman middle linebacker. 1st and 10, Georgia Southern to start this third quarter. The Eagles from their own 27-yard line, leading it by 21, and the rain as the window here in the press box beginning to get a few raindrops on it, Marty. Starting out with a pickup of 4 yards is AP Adrian Peterson.
Adrian Peterson, 82 yards in the first half on 19 carries.
You know, his bio in the media guide was like, you could have had a media guide just on Adrian Peterson alone.
And you might next year. He will be back. He's only a junior.
Marty, I wonder what the talk might be as a 1AA player, perhaps going up for that Heisman Trophy. Mark Myers coming to the near side.
Mark Myers on the carry for the Eagles.
Because Peterson can play football. I mean, I just read some of the things that the records on this kid. Took the whole plane ride down here just to read up on Adrian Peterson.
On and on and on.
Favorite sports hero, Walter Payton. And how about Peterson last year winning the Walter Payton Award, given out to the Division 1AA top offensive player. Weathers was in motion, and Weathers takes the pitch. And Weathers running away from Joe Todd and Doug Shanahan, who corrals him from behind as he gets inside the 35-yard line. A gain of about 12 yards on that run.
Watch the block. Right side of your screen by number 34, Mark Mayer. gets the block on Doug Shanahan. Weathers is going to pick up the first down.
Georgia Southern converting on that, 4 of 8 now on third down conversions. This now a 1st and 10 from the 45. The pitch. Myers with coverage. Mark Myers being chased. Stays to the near side, pushed out of bounds at the 12-yard line by Robert Thomas. But Mark Myers exploding downfield.
He really does explode as soon as he turns this corner. He's going to kick it into high gear. Here it is, the play fake in the middle, then the pitch. Nobody out there. Good block down the field this time by number 13, Weathers. And again, 44 yards down the field.
1st and 10 from the 11 on Adrian. I have Andre Weathers on my mind. Adrian Peterson, the ball carrier. Adam Brown for the Pride on the tackle. This one could get rather ugly should Georgia Southern pop this one in. Last time they were here at the end of the first half, they fumbled the football away. This will be 2nd down and 6. The ball at the 7. You can get a first down, Georgia Southern, showing trips to the top of the screen. Peterson stretching it out close to the 1-yard line. Adrian Peterson.
Pick up a 5 yards. When you look down at this offensive line, you can tell, watch their stance, sprinter stance by the offensive line. They explode off the line of scrimmage. White jerseys going backwards. And then the extension by Adrian Peterson takes it down to the 1-yard line.
Who, when asked if he cannot imagine living without, he filled in the blank. He said, my parents. His favorite non-sports hero, his dad, Porter Peterson.
Well, that's a real role model right there for all youngsters to look up to. You know, God-given tools, great athletic ability, and still, you know what, the respect for his parents, a true role model for all of us.
He said if he had $1 million, you know what he would do with the money? Buy his parents a new home. Adrian Peterson might get that $1 million if he gets to the next level. Following in his brother's footsteps, Michael, as I mentioned earlier, Michael Peterson, a starting linebacker with the Indianapolis Colts. Peterson was a Cowboys fan growing up, but he says, now I'm a Colts fan, and now I found the end zone.
Adrian Peterson.
Touchdown, Adrian Peterson.
First touchdown of the afternoon for Adrian Peterson, right over to his block of the offensive guard. This one's starting to get away from Joe Carty.
Oh, it's getting away. Adrian Peterson putting his team up by the score of now 30-3.
Again, the sprinter stance of the offensive lineman, the explosion, and then you have a fullback, Adrian Peterson. He said, you know what, late in the game, just call me AP. AP taking it up the middle.
Well, the AP Associated Press is going to be writing a game story about AP. Scott Shelton converting the extra point, 31-3 in favor of the defending national champs, the Eagles from Georgia Southern. Look at that little thing here on a fishing pole there. Look what they've got, a little lion. Cage the Pride. Oh, these fans are into it here.
Good looking, good sideline view of that offensive line. Again, the white jerseys get knocked back. You got to create a new line of scrimmage.
13:05 left in the third quarter, and it looks like right now that Georgia Southern will be taking on Delaware, because Delaware is all over Lehigh. 47-16, the Blue Hens over Lehigh in the fourth quarter of play. So it looks like Delaware, Georgia Southern will hook up Montana. First quarter, 13-0 over the Richmond Spiders. One more quarterfinal matchup going on today. App State at home, 7-0, second quarter over the Hilltoppers from Western Kentucky.
And if it should match up that Delaware does play Georgia Southern, two very explosive offense. One runs its spread with the slot up there in Delaware, and Tubby Raymond, they have that wing T. Very similar.
Wing T putting 44 points on the board earlier this year against Hofstra. A win at Hofstra, 44-14. A little razzle-dazzle revert. Slipping, falling, costing yardage. inside the 10 because his knee hit down. Was 84. Cordell Thornton from DeSoto, Texas. They tried to go with that reverse, and they have been really unsuccessful this year.
Well, the reason why you want this reverse to work, you got to block some people. Look how many defenders are coming down the field. Watch when the ball takes off. There's the hit. The explosion is by Chris O'Neill, number 42. There's too many defenders down there.
Down by 28 early third quarter. What does Hofstra do now? Splitting twins out from both sides. Trevor Dimmy set deep behind Rocky Butler. The gift to Dimmy. Across the 10, into the 11. First man in, 44, Freddie Piscata.
Piscata having a great afternoon today. Another stop for number 44. First team all-conference.
Gain of 1. Freddie Piscata out of Ackworth, Georgia. Throwing, not even close. Intended receiver was Jason Maxwell.
Intended for Maxwell. Third down and 8 for Hofstra.
So this Hofstra offense has stalled today. It is now a third down and 8 from the Hofstra 11-yard line. 12:22 left third quarter. Hofstra down 28.
And Rocky Butler 6 of 15 for 65 yards. 0 for 8 on third down.
And this, a third down opportunity for the Pride. On the season, Hofstra at 46%.
And the fans are starting to chant, "Go home, Yankees."
I don't think they're talking about the New York Yankees. Charlie Adams, reception made. Holding on, falling down. Rocky Butler and Charlie Adams connecting for the first down.
Flag on the play.
Flag has been thrown, Morty.
Holding, this one's coming back. 12 yards would have been a good reception, enough for a first down. Holding on one of the interior linemen. Seems like maybe Joe Gardy, his staff, having problems with the headsets on the sideline.
He doesn't, you could read his lips, he doesn't even want to hear the explanation, and he is directing that at the side judge, Tom Weber.
Still third down.
This is now third and 13 for the Pride. The ball back at the Hofstra 5-yard line. Shotgun, Butler standing on the goal line. Trips to the bottom of the screen. A little screen. Trevor safety. 2 more points on the board for Georgia Southern.
Laverne Rainey, number 21, read this play the entire way.
I have a feeling LeVar Rainey is going to get something on this one.
Sir.
Oh, LeVar Rainey, you have made it to the Morty Lion School of Daddy. Although they, no, wait a minute. That was not a safety? I guess not. I guess he must have been just over the goal line. The punt rolled dead at the 41. Marty, it looked like he was in the end zone from our vantage point. Wow, what a hit, though.
58-yard punt by Johnson.
58-yard punt, no return.
Georgia Southern football, 1st and 10 from the 41.
Look at this.
Another look at it. It's going to happen left side of your screen. The dump off. Rainey, 21, comes up. Daddy knocks him back. Clearly in the end zone, though. Should have been a safety.
Don't know why that wasn't called.
He gets hit right there. He's still in the end zone. Wow.
How could that not have been a safety unless they said his foot was on the goal line and driven back? Oh, this crowd.
And what's nice about this is you got like the north side of the stadium and the south side, and they're yelling back and forth to one another.
That's right. You know what? No truer. That side says right now, Paulson Stadium in the house of the defending national champs who won 24 straight playoff games on this turf.
There's no question about it. Whose house it is?
Revere reverses again. Look at him slip the seam to the secondary for a first down at the Hofstra 44-yard line, Marty. 13 more yards.
Another 13 yards.
For Georgia Southern.
Now you see how powerful this team really is. It's the quarterback. J.R. Revere outside, has the pitch man there, Weathers. Why pitch it? I'll just pick up 13 yards.
10 carries, 67 yards for the quarterback for Georgia Southern, J.R. Revere. And he scored on a touchdown run in the first half that went for 18. Turning the corner. Watch this guy run over people. But no matter what, can you like this guy or what?
And you know, this is the type of guy, you know, we're sitting up here and you know how good he is, but watch the quality of running, the quality of blocking up front, great vision. Now watch, he's going to switch it back outside. Robert Thomas goes down. Now watch, switch it back inside. Boom, run over people.
Well, 33 yards, though, will be negated because of a hold.
Wow, power running, power football. Good second effort, though, by Robert Thomas to come back.
Georgia Southern for a block in the back.
Block in the back against Georgia Southern.
Spot foul.
All defense for Robert Thomas. Tough for him to grab with that bad, heavily wrapped hand because he has surgery, so he can't really wrap up an Adrian Peterson. You can't stop the guy Peterson with two hands, let alone one.
And if you don't wrap him up, you're not going to stop him at all.
Bring this one back with 11:15 left. The pitch. Speed. Myers. Out of bounds.
Myers on the carry.
Doug Shanahan. The only way to stop these guys is shove them out of bounds.
Doug Shanahan saves a touchdown there. Mark Myers picks up 14 yards on the carry.
15 yards for Myers. First down, Georgia Southern.
First down for Georgia Southern. Marty, I can't remember watching a Hofstra game against an opponent that there was so many weapons with so much blazing speed. Myers over the century mark has 114 yards as Peterson again carries bodies.
Peterson on the carry.
For Georgia Southern. We did 11 minutes left third quarter.
That's right, folks. 31-3. 11 minutes to play in the third quarter.
They could put up the old half-century mark on this one. Skies might be gray here in Statesboro. Only gray on the Hofstra side. 31-3. Georgia Southern led it 24-3 at halftime. In fact, led it 21-0 before Hofstra even got on the board. Oh, the quick move to the inside, but Joe Todd again able to hold his ground and bring down J.R. Revere. Joe Todd, one of the few, if any, people on this team playing well, along with Trevor Dimmy on the offensive side.
Well, it's hard to say. You know, when you give up 31 points and soon to be maybe 38, but watch Joe Todd. Great deal of pride in this linebacker core right here. You got Joe Todd, Sal Losi, Kyle Thorne, but it's hard when you're out on the field. So many plays.
Adrian Peterson for the 41st time in his career, gone over the 100-yard mark.
And there's a first down as you take a look at the offensive linemen sitting there all together.
Zorger Davis, 73, is Michael Curry.
Michael Curry's family is up here from Florida.
This, not a good afternoon for the Hofstra Pride. Bob McIntyre, linebacker coach. Touchdown, Georgia Southern, APATD. Second touchdown of the game for Adrian Peterson.
And it's funny to look around up in the press box. There's not a great deal of emotion. These people are expected this, but watch Adrian Peterson, number 3 again, power running it for the touchdown.
Shelton for the point after.
Shelton for the point after. Johnson the hold. 38-3, Georgia Southern in a rout with 9:41 left in the third quarter.
38, Hofstra 3.
Adrian Peterson, 2 touchdowns. J.R. Revere, 3 touchdowns. And guess what? They are going to move on to the next round.
Rugged.
128 yards, 2 touchdowns for Adrian Peterson. But don't forget, before we talk about more of AP, this Tuesday, don't miss the sports section with Bill Patrick here on Metro. This week, the sports section takes you on a trip from Sports Talk Radio to a ringside seat with Lennox Lewis's Cutman, plus an inside look at women's professional football. That's the sports section with Bill Patrick this Tuesday at 7, only on Metro. Kickoff, Scott Shelton, Billy Morales, top of the screen, number 11, J.R. Santos, 32. This is Santos from the 10. Santos with a hole. Still on his feet, nice run back, 34 yards. J.R. Santos to the 44-yard line.
And good field position for the offense to try to establish something here in the second half.
9:31 left, third quarter. Unfortunately, Marty, we might be down to the precious few moments here in the third quarter watching Adrian Peterson. This guy, I don't know the exact number. I think it's like something like 15 fourth quarters he has not played because Georgia Southern has not needed him.
And that's hard to believe when you have 32 consecutive games of rushing for over 100 yards.
And 41 for his career. Butler over the middle. Oh! Tommy Kemper was hit. Hello, Jason Neese. That is. Oh, a couple of daddies coming in here. Earlier, it's LeVar Rainey. And
Jason Neese. You gotta love this, folks. Watch this linebacker come up and pop you. Woo-hoo!
Daddy, second team all-conference, Jason Neese, Powder Springs, Georgia.
Good solid football.
Oh, they play football here at Georgia Southern. Shotgun Rocky Butler inside. Charlie Adams with some room. Adams across the 45 to the 43 for a Hofstra first down. A pickup of 13 yards.
David Young also on the tackle.
Adrian Peterson, 28 carries, 128 yards, and 2 TDs.
Last week, 203 yards in the win over McNeese with a touchdown. 2 rushing touchdowns in this game give him 16 on the ground for this season. Total of 17. Hofstra spreading 5. Trips to the top. Twins to the bottom of your screen. Looking long! Come on, right. Can't hold on. Had beaten Drake Cooper to the inside on that slant.
Probably the best pass Rocky Butler's thrown all afternoon. This going to go right through. Kamal Royce. He's running a post pattern, goes right through his hands. Take a look at it. You got to make that reception. You're wide open. Lack of concentration.
Kamal Roy will be back next year. He's a junior from Hempstead, New York. He knows he should have caught it. He made plays of the week last week on you-know-where. Dan-a-net for that juggling catch in the win at Furman. Over the middle, wide open. Jason Maxwell, a little cutback. Maxwell spinning away, still on his feet. Inside the 15 to the 13-yard line for Jason Maxwell.
And we talked about Jason Maxwell all week. Here's a guy that just continues to come up with big plays. 29 yards on this reception. He's a senior and has had an outstanding career for Joe Gardy.
Jason Maxwell. A senior, Wilmington, Delaware. Probably would have liked to have gone down to Delaware to Newark to play the Blue Hens, but down 38-3 with 8:40 left. Doesn't appear that there will be a next week for Hofstra. Off the quarterback reverse. Touchdown, Rocky Butler, 13 yards. Hofstra hits the end zone for the first time of this football game.
LeVar Rainey, the outside quarterback, went with that play fake the entire way. Rocky Butler, Statue of Liberty play, takes it in 13 yards. Here it is, the play fake. Watch 21. Right side of your screen. He's going to come in. Look at him. There he is. Running in there. Wide open. 13 yards.
14th rushing touchdown of the season for Rocky Butler. Hofstra going 5 plays. 56 yards. Time of possession 111. Point after Chad Johnson. And with 8.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter, Hofstra trails by the score of 38-10. Quarterback coach Warren Ruggiero talking with Rocky Butler, hitting pay dirt from 13 yards out. Marty Lyons.
Again, the execution is everything. Here it is. Watch how long Rocky Butler stays in a position right there. Stays there.
Coming into your living room.
The outside quarter. Randy still has his back turned. He's running inside. Butler takes it back outside. 56 yards set up by an excellent kickoff return.
Well, I know it's too early for trickery with 8.5 remaining here and a whole fourth quarter to play as well.
You'd have to be nuts even to suggest an onside kick. You talk about a short field.
It's short when they got the ball at their own 20, the Eagles. You're not going to give it to them at midfield now. Although they're up tight.
Well, they can be up tight as all you...
No, I mean up tight, meaning up close.
Well,
I don't mean uptight.
No, you've got to kick the ball deep.
I agree with
As
you.
you look at Andre Weathers, number 13, very explosive.
This whole team is explosive. A joy to watch Georgia Southern play football.
And again, the Southern hospitality from the time we got in. We came over here yesterday. Got to meet the SID and everybody.
Weathers, Andre Weathers, 23-yard line, 38-yard return on that kickoff, and the Eagles are flying again with some super field position.
Yeah, Carl Roeder, I thought you wanted to do the onside kick.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, you were thinking it. You were thinking it.
Suggesting.
Look at that, straight up the middle, power running. 38 yards later, they start at their own 43-yard line.
Adrian Peterson behind J.R. Revere. Revere will hold. Then the pitch. It's a loose football. And who's got it? Is Hofstra going to fall on it? No, Shanahan's going to pick it up and run. So the turnover to the Hofstra 5. A second fumble lost by Georgia Southern in this football game.
And again, that's what you have to do. Create turnovers. That time the outside linebacker, Kyle Thorne's going to stay in place. Check that as Joe Todd, he stays there. Bad pitch by Revere. Ball's on the ground. Joe Todd tries to pick it up. Doug Shanahan tries to pick it up. Then Doug Shanahan grabs it.
I'll tell you, Shanahan used to going down low, being a midfielder on the lacrosse team. Knows how to scoop a ground ball. Came up scooping the football.
And he returns it 12 yards.
To the 27-yard line of Georgia Southern. Hofstra trips to the bottom of the screen. Motion Kamal Roy. Charlie Adams. That is a loss of 15 yards. Why would you go trickery when you have momentum?
And you have field position. Cooper, number 23, matched up on the outside, man-to-man with Charlie Adams. Adams comes back into play trying to throw a double reverse pass, and you lose 14 yards on the play. Check that, 13 yards, second and 23.
Don't agree with that play call at all. Rocky Butler throws! So nothing but 65 yards of football field in front of them. Now it will be 3rd and 23.
But again, you want to get yourself back in the game. Watch this play. 1st and 10. Your defense just came with a turnover. There's one. Here's the second handover. And there's Cooper. Bad play selection.
Why wouldn't you go up top on a turnover with momentum when you know that the Georgia Southern secondary is suspect? by injuries and you go reverse.
But why wouldn't you just run the ball? You've been very successful running the ball. Trevor Timmy, over 100 yards. Rocky Butler just took it in from 13 yards out.
And now it's picked off by Drake Cooper. Cooper sliding and falling because of the wet surface, brings it back to the 26-yard line. A 14-yard return. There is a flag at the 17.
Very disappointed in the three-play selections right there. Your defense comes up with a big play. Your back is against the wall. You're 28 points behind. You try a double reverse. Then you throw a pass. Drake Cooper now comes up with the interception. You take away all that momentum that your defense built up and still find yourself 28 points behind.
First pick of the season for Drake Cooper, and it's a big one.
Again, Rocky Butler's going to get outside the pocket. Sometimes if you can't find a receiver open, you have to run. Well underthrown. Drake Cooper comes up with the interception. Back-to-back big plays by Drake Cooper.
Marty, just want to, as we take a look at the back end of it, stepping up in front of Kamal Roy was Cooper, recording his first INT of the season. Just want to get the guy, you mentioned the sports information director here, Tom McClellan, doing a great job showing us around yesterday, and of course his hospitality again this morning.
And that barbecue we had before the game, that was outstanding. Little,
not your ordinary hot dog.
No.
Back on offense, Georgia Southern, Adrian Peterson picking up 4 in front of 7,139 here at Paulson Stadium.
See, I've always been a firm believer to do a razzle-dazzle play, you have to set it up. For me, I would think that you'd have to set up the first reverse part of that before you come back with the second. And as we look, there's Popeye.
Oh, boy.
Oh, no, that's an official.
Revere carrying it out close to the 25-yard line.
Which may be enough for another first down.
You see the rain coming down now. That is one of the reasons that this expected crowd of 12,000 was reduced to 7,139. There's the official. I guess the fans here at Paulson Stadium know they get flagged more often than not.
Well, they really don't care about the officials either, you know.
At this point in time, when you're winning by 28 with 6:25 left,
well, I think that's year-round. They'll throw the flag on us. You know, we're still averaging close to 500 yards rushing per game.
First and 10, Georgia Southern from its own 24. Revere, pitch. Oh, the hit by Jason Howard.
Yes, sir. Jason Howard getting in the action today.
Loss of 3. Is he making the list? We've got 2 today.
Well, we'll take another look at it.
You got Rainey and Nice.
Again, you're staying outside. Jason Howard. Here he comes up. Pops him. Yes, sir. Daddy knocking them back.
Oh, daddies. About 3 of them in the last 10 or 12 minutes. LeVar Rainey and Jason Nice getting a daddy on the Georgia Southern side, and Jason Howard picking one up for Marty Lyon on the Hofstra side. Downfield, Johnson. Did he hold on? Yes, he did in front of Robert Thomas. 21-yard reception.
Robert Thomas matched up man for man.
Revere to Johnson for the first down.
Oh, Chris Johnson. "21 yards, the first down." Another look at it. Good pass protection.
22 yards.
He's going to throw it out there. Watch. Johnson goes up, makes the reception, then the tackle. Clearly a catch.
Late pitch. Myers backtrack. Now comes home. Now spins. Taking up Myers on the carry by Patrick Garelis, but not before 12 yards and another Eagles first down.
And a little, if you want razzle-dazzle, you just got to throw it to one of your guys and tell them to stop, stutter step, turn back inside, back outside, one stiff arm, and then 12 yards later, you pick up a first down. Now here's what I just said. Stop, stutter step, back inside, back outside, stiff arm, 12 yards.
Just like the playbook calls for.
There we go. Can't draw it up on paper any better. Number 11 in now at fullback.
And getting that call is Edmund Coley, the junior from Austell, Georgia, picking up 4 on his first carry of the game.
Coley on the season, 60 carries, 266 yards, 2 TDs. Last week against McNeese, he had 5 carries, 22 yards, and a touchdown.
On the season, everyone combined, Georgia Southern averaging 6 yards a carry. It's incredible. It's one of the reasons that they do score like they do at 33.5 points per game, including 42 last week against McNeese. Little confusion, flag thrown in there. Revere holding it and bringing it to the 38-yard line, but there is a flag right at the 40-yard line in front of the Georgia Southern bench, coached by Paul Johnson.
Illegal shift against Georgia Southern.
Illegal shift against Georgia Southern. We'll push this one back, negate the last play.
Big high school game here last night, Crow. Had about 12,000 people here.
Yeah, Statesboro advancing, winning at 8-7, and they go to the semifinals next week at the Georgia Dome up in Atlanta. Adrian Peterson walking side by side now with the trainer.
Looks like he's done for the afternoon.
Yeah, he's holding his helmet. I don't think he's hurt.
Well,
or is he? He's got his helmet. He's going to strap it back on, Marty.
Just as we said that. Maybe go and get a few more yards.
Yeah, why not? Entertain the home folks. Coley remains in at running back, number 11. The fake to Coley. Wide open. Near side. Z. Walden at the 25-yard line. 14. You love his first name. It's Zareem, and he loves to be called Z.
Just call me Z.
Call him out of Marietta, Georgia.
Play action freezes the linebackers. Then they have their wide receivers running off. Z. Walden outside. Look, no defenders nearby. Falls to the ground, but he picks up a first down. Take another look at it. You see a lot of the white jerseys, helmets turned around.
Love that.
Walden on the carry.
That last catch that he had was the first catch by any other receiver other than Chris Johnson in today's game.
Well, now he takes the pitch and he's going to run 11 yards. They're starting to rack up some serious yards here.
Got an injured player, Marty, far side. It's a Georgia Southern player, and it is Chris Johnson who is down.
And we will try to keep track of this total yards most by a Georgia Southern team. 1999, 732 yards against Western Carolina.
Tell you, they're working on their top wideout, Chris Johnson, who I mentioned this year, 673 yards in receptions, single season mark, as were his 8 touchdowns and his average of 23 plus. Those are the numbers for Johnson today, who has 4 catches, 74 yards. There is a timeout on the field. We will come back, hopefully have the update on Chris Johnson. Well, Marty, Chris Johnson walking off pretty much under his own power, but it is a limp, and now the concern would be hopefully you can get him back in action for next week, and it looks like Georgia Southern will take on Delaware, who is pretty much manhandling Lehigh this afternoon.
Adrian Peterson, number 3, back in the game. Play action fake.
Drilled. Should have been caught. The intended receiver in the end zone, number 85, was Titus Johnson, senior wideout from Hartwell, Georgia.
Johnson on the season, 6 receptions, 97 yards. Should have had a touchdown there, wide open.
Look at that jersey now, huh? Got to pull it back over those pads. Needs some help from his teammates. This will be a 2nd down and 10 from the 16-yard line for Georgia Southern. These guys are looking at right there. Pat Dorvelis coming up there, making the hit on Z. Walden. A loss of 5 to Walden.
Dorvelis all the way out there. Again, this is why you play this option. Somebody takes the quarterback, make him commit early, and then your corner comes up. Dorvelis, number 28, to make the stop. Sets up a 3rd and 10. Got back to the line of scrimmage.
Pat Dorvelis from St. Hubert, Quebec, Canada. Quebec City, Canada, the junior. He'll be back next season. 3rd and 10. Revere wants to throw. Dump off. Short. Intended receiver was Z. Walden. Picking up a 4th down and 10 for the 16. Let's see what they're going to do. Who are they sending out? Is it going to be Baronis or will it be Shelton for the field goal attempt. It will be Scott Shelton, the sophomore from Savannah, Georgia. So this field goal attempt will come from 33 yards away for Shelton. Earlier had a field goal of 35 yards. 25, excuse me, 25. And you know what? Shelton now 2 of 2 in this game. This from 33. It is now 41-10 in favor of Georgia Southern. 2:43 remaining, third quarter. They're getting close to that 50 mark. 12 plays, 71 yards for Paul Johnson, smiling in the rain. See if Knicks fans will smile tonight on MSG Network with Terrell Sprewell leading the Knicks against superstar Kevin Garnett and the Timberwolves. Catch MCS Cannon Knicks game night at 7. Then the action getting one underway at 7:30. The Knicks battling the T-Wolves tonight on MSG.
Knicks had that big win last night against Chicago coming down the stretch. You take a look at
those tuba players. You ever play the tuba?
No.
You never in the Alabama marching band?
There's Joe Gardy, tipping his hat right now.
Can't be happy, down 41-10. Didn't think it would be this type of a score. I thought it would be a high-scoring affair, Marty Lyons. I thought we'd have a real shootout where you might see a 45-41 final, and not to be the case.
Well, not to be the case, Juan. There's too many 3-and-outs for the offense, a lot of pressure on the defense. You knew that Georgia Southern was going to score. They have too many weapons.
But they do give up some points on defense, and you figured that Hofstra was able to score, against Furman last week, and Furman was able to do damage against this same Georgia Southern team in a victory earlier.
But the bottom line is the offense didn't carry their end of this deal in the first half, and you find yourself in a big hole. Billy Morales taking it back to the 36-yard line.
1st and 10 for Hofstra as they go back on the field with 2:35 left in the third quarter, trailing by 31 points. Take a look at the other scores around the quarterfinal action in 1AA football this afternoon. Delaware, a final. The Blue Hens will move on to the semis, 47-22. Montana in command over Richmond in the second quarter. And now Western Kentucky trailed early 7-0 on top 14-10. Approaching halftime, so it looks like Georgia Southern and Delaware. Boy, that might be a basketball score. Billy Morales lowered his helmet off midfield to the 44-yard line of Georgia Southern.
One thing about Billy Morales, he's going to put his head down, pick up some positive yards, 21 yards on this reception. Another look at it, quick pass outside. Offensive lineman going downfield block, and then watch Billy Morales. 21 yards on the reception.
29 years old, still fighting hard. Former shortstop center fielder at Beach Channel High School in Far Rockaway, New York. Jason Maxwell, as he stops shy. He's got 9. If they give him the spot, then it would pick up 10. I think it will be second and very short.
Second and short.
2 minutes exactly remaining, as Maxwell now becomes part of trips to the bottom of the screen with Twins up top. The surge and the first down for the Pride, picking up 4, was Rocky Butler, the quarterback. 1:50 on the clock, third quarter.
And you know you're down south, and you know the fans love football when their team's up by 31. It's raining and it's cold, and nobody's leaving the stadium.
Chris Johnson, the word is a sprained left ankle and will not return. Well, if you covered up like that with blankets and hats, they're waving to you. They're waving to you, I think. There's that championship ring, I think, over there again. You don't go home. You stay around. 1st and 10 Hofstra from the 32. Getting his hands on it. Number 44, Freddie Pescata, once again coming off of that defensive line position. Pesqueda has had a tremendous game, Marty. Remember, again, a first-team All-Southern Conference.
Left side of your screen, Pesqueda is number 44. It's almost time to get him out of the game. Get him a little rest. Don't take a chance of getting him hurt. Big game next week
against Delaware. Drill, caught, reception by Jason Maxwell to the 23.
We come up just shy of picking up another first down. Pickup of 9 yards on the play.
Georgia Southern will travel north next week, Marty, should they hold on here with 1:22 left third quarter. That game will be played at Delaware. Locking horns, Paul Johnson and Tubby Raymond. Maxwell on the inside on that third and short. Should be enough for another Hofstra first down with 1:06 left.
I think it's going to be very close.
Gino Tatera, number 90, nose tackle, back on the field as we get a measurement. Okay, Laser One, what do you got?
I'm thinking that he's just going to be short. A couple inches short.
Just a couple?
All right, I'm going to really go on the line here, about 4 inches short.
All right, let's see. Wow. You need to go for a checkup?
No, I meant 4 inches short of...
Yeah, go ahead.
Getting another fourth down.
Oh, escapability by old number 93.
First one that I've missed all year.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that one. That was Hofstra's first third down conversion of this football game. That shows 1 minute left third quarter. Hofstra down by the score of 41-10. Trips to the bottom of the screen. Rocky Butler will work shotgun. Quarterback draw. Butler with a sidestep there. Cuts back to the inside. Pick up maybe 4 on that play, possibly 5, depending upon the spot.
But again, Rocky Butler, design play, you got to stick it up in there. A lot of times we've seen it all year. You run north and south. You can tell he's got a great deal of respect for this defense. Watch him as he's going through the line. He gets almost, now he starts to guess on himself, but he still picks up 5 yards.
So it was a 4.5? Only kidding.
5 on the scoreboard.
Butler has time, drill, pass tipped again. Looking for Kamal Roy with 11 seconds left in this third quarter. Number 91, out of Atlanta, Georgia, Carlton Oglesby, the freshman, getting his mitts up there. 3rd and 5 for Hofstra. The crowd doesn't want to see another touchdown. They think 1 is enough. Like to hold him here. Tyree Johnson, number 31 in the backfield now for the Hofstra Pride. They'll run the football. Play clock has 5 seconds left. 4 seconds down to 3. Might not get it up. Yes, he does. Trailing out of the pocket. He's rushed, and Rocky Butler is dropped. And this will be a 4th down, 1 second remaining, and now no time left, third quarter. That was the last play of the third quarter, and Georgia Southern is cruising 15 minutes away, the Eagles are, from advancing to a semifinal matchup against Delaware next week in Newark, Delaware. Marty, it's 4th and 3. You're down by 31. You're starting the fourth quarter. Why would you be kicking a field goal right now when you do need points?
Well, I disagree with this.
So do I.
You do need points. 3 points in the box score tomorrow is not going to make a difference between winning and losing.
Well, Hofstra gets 3 on the board, making it 41-13 on the 32-yard field goal by Chad Johnson. But when you need points,
but you know, you did make it a 28-point game, though. 4 touchdowns.
I see your philosophy.
What? Just trying to find, please.
Your philosophy goes back to your school of meteorology.
Hey,
How many times did you take philosophy in college? You can't even answer. You can't even answer. 41-13, just underway, fourth quarter. 3 points on the board by Chad Johnson. Got more hoops tonight for you. Tonight on Fox Sports Net, high-flying Tracy McGrady leading the Magic into the Meadowlands, battling the New Jersey Nets. Coverage begins at 7 with Continental Airlines Nets Game Night. Game time, 7:30. Nets and Magic colliding tonight on Fox Sports Net.
Now you might want an onside kick. What the heck, right?
What would you onside kick if you went for 3? Marty, I know before we have an opportunity. Dr. James Nicholas. He is the father of Dr. Steve Nicholas, the orthopedic doctor for the Hofstra Pride. I know you got a little hello and
right.
Get
We
well.
want to wish him good well. He had surgery on Thursday. We know that he's listening to the game in Lenox Hill. And Dr. Nick, you know, there's a lot of people that truly care about you, not just as a doctor that operates on them, but as a good friend. So get well quick, and hopefully you're out by the holidays.
It's Dr. James Nicholas, whose son, as we said, is on the sidelines here many, many years. Dr. James Nicholas, the physician.
And we know he didn't turn the game off.
No, he didn't. Andre Weathers from the 10 for Georgia Southern. Andre Weathers returning.
Andre Weathers on the return.
6-yard line, 16-yard return.
Tyree Johnson.
Tyree Johnson, special team tackle, number 31 for Hofstra.
Adrian Peterson going back out, number 3. Starting lineup staying in.
Yeah.
Why not?
Well, only because, well, you already have one guy that went down, and Chris Johnson, with a sprained ankle. He's the leading receiver, so you just hope that no one else gets hurt. AP maybe wants a third TD.
Teddy Grenage, number 93, seeing some action out at the defensive tackle position.
There's Revere, who backtracked and loses 2 yards. Tackle there by number 81, James Mayer, who is playing his last football game, and got to know James Mayer a whole lot more this season, Marty. And another standout individual who really plays this game hard.
You know, the one thing you have to say about this entire squad, some quality individuals on it, offense, defense, and, you know, people that are going to be able to go out into society and make a positive impact.
The pitch to Weathers along the near side.
Jason Howard makes the stop, but he's down on the field.
Jason Howard is down, face down. And head athletic trainer for Hofstra University, Rick Zappola, hurrying across the field to attend to Jason Howard.
And there's Steve Nicholas coming in.
There he is in that sweatsuit. That's orthopedic doctor that we just talked about, whose dad is recuperating, and we hope he gets well. The hooded sweatshirt in the grays of Hofstra. There's Dr. Steve Nicholas right there.
Number 16 on the back of it.
Played college football at Harvard. Joe Gardy, of course, with concern anytime a player does go down. Jason Howard able to get up, the sophomore from Syracuse, New York.
And you got to love that. The last person over, first person to walk them off.
14:08 remaining in this fourth quarter. 41-13. Georgia Southern on top of Hofstra. This has been Georgia Southern from the get-go. Led it 21-0. 21-3, kept adding on points. Lone touchdown for Hofstra in this football game. A little quarterback, a little Statue of Liberty quarterback run there by Rocky Butler.
And for the folks at home, we'll try to get you an update on Jason Howard as quickly as possible.
3rd down and 4. J.R. Revere, the quarterback, 5 of 11 today, 14 carries, 72 yards, 3 touchdowns. Wants to add to the rushing numbers, getting to the outside in front of Doug Shanahan. And getting to the 44-yard line, 19 more yards on that scramble, giving Revere 91 yards rushing.
What a smart play by J.R. Revere. Comes back outside, but watch, he has the opportunity to run out of bounds. But watch, he's going to cut it back inside, keep the clock moving, and he picks up 19 yards.
I'll tell you right now, Marty, Georgia Southern is threatening to have 3 runners go over 100 yards. Revere is 9 yards short. Remember, Peterson and Myers already over the century mark. Straight up the gut, Kyle Thorne making the stop on Adrian Peterson. Kyle Thorne will be back next year. He is a junior, a transfer from Long Beach Community College.
Number 90,
player Shockey Perry
down now.
There is Kyle Thorne.
All right.
So Shockey Perry, a senior out of Roselle, New Jersey. He's getting up. Now, as a senior, Marty, do you begin to feel that You look at the clock and you say, now my time is running out. I'm no longer going to be part of a college football program.
Right, but you got to realize, you know,
still gonna play hard.
Every college career has to come to an end, and as long as, you know, I'm not saying that there was a lack of effort by this defense today or the offense. You know, they just got outplayed by the better team.
This Georgia Southern team is a buzzsaw. Adrian Peterson leading the way. 2 more yards. Here is the sideline, some long faces, and this was a team that not many people expected to do any damage this year. It was set to be a rebuilding, reloading. Hofstra went 8-3 in the regular season, made it to the postseason again, won last week in the opening round game at Furman. When you got to come here and play a team that is now going to go 25-0 in its last 25 home playoff games, that's a tough task. Revere being chased. Near side, chased out by Doug Shanahan.
4 yards, first down. Paul Johnson has to be happy with the execution of this offense today.
It's a machine, well oiled. 12:47 left on that clock. J.R. Revere now over 100 yards, making it 3 runners over 100 yards for Georgia Southern today.
Guess what? He's going to be back next year.
Yeah, I know. That's really scary. He's a junior. And Peterson will be back next year. And you know what? Myers will be back next year as well. Speaking of Peterson, pushing his way through.
The only one that won't be back at the starting lineup will be number 7, Chris Johnson. He's a senior.
Morty, what about it in Adrian Peterson? You know, is it realistic that he could be considered as a top candidate for the Heisman, even at the 1AA level?
Well, he should be because of his numbers. Remember, he only needs 160 yards in the start of next season to surpass Herschel Walker's all-time numbers for a runner in the state of Georgia.
You got to remember this. You speak of Georgia, where Herschel Walker played. First game of the season, Georgia Southern played up at Georgia, and Peterson rushed for 152 yards. Now that's the most any running back has done against the Bulldogs this season.
And I think yesterday when we were talking to him, we said 132, and he corrected us pretty quickly.
Yeah,
no, 152.
Yeah.
Great kid. You know, we've been very fortunate the last 2 weeks to cover 2 backs in the Southern Conference at outstanding career. Last week it was Ivory and Furman, and this week, Peterson.
Revere still in trouble. Gets away from Joe Todd, pushed out by Doug Shanahan. Unfortunately, the word not that good. Preliminary report on Jason Howard, Marty, dislocated left shoulder. Revere now losing, and he's back to 99 because he's taken a couple of losses. This is now 4th down coming up in about 11. No punt team out here. In fact, we haven't seen Georgia Southern punt in this football game. How's that?
A lot of times you don't even know they have a punter.
Do they need a punter? Before we're going to get Lewis Ivory. Almost picked off by Joe Todd. Got his fingers on it, so Hofstra will take over on downs with 11:17 remaining in this 4th quarter. Georgia Southern by 28.
Still a lot of football left. You have to be optimistic, you know.
I am. Is the Eagle optimistic?
That's Gus.
That's Gus, the Eagle. Where is Gus?
One side a little shuffle right
there. There he is. Yeah, it's the Gus shuffle, the Eagle shuffle. That's the Georgia Southern dance. Score a touchdown. Gus starts flapping those wings. It's intimidating to come to, as they say here, our house. Rocky Butler, Johnson. Look at the big guy just pull over people for a first down, 12-yard pickup. I'll say it, and I say it every week. There is our house, and Tyree Johnson trying to make a little bit of an impact in this, the house, Paulson Stadium, the home of the Eagles from Georgia Southern.
Tyree Johnson seeing his first action of the afternoon. The redshirt freshman picks up 12 yards and a first down.
Give to Johnson, gaining 2 yards up to the 45-yard line.
On the carry.
Clock is winding down. There you go. I could see you. I'm going to have that painted on you for the plane ride home. Put a little eagle on you.
Second down and 8.
Can I have it on my arm instead?
On your arm, yeah, because you can flex that forearm and really make that eagle fly and spread his wings. Hofstra now working with twins. Both sides, Rocky Butler, approaching 10 minutes remaining in the game. Picked up! Michael Youngblood spelling the end zone. Touchdown, Michael Youngblood! Oh, will that cap off an afternoon? Michael Youngblood!
No, you know, it's amazing. Our producer just got in our ear, Eric Singer. He says, you know what? Into that poor strategy, running the ball, why don't they throw it? Here's a good reason why you don't throw the ball. Trailing now, Michael Youngblood takes it back 52 yards.
You know what?
Throws it in his hand.
Second pick of the season. Second time Youngblood has picked it and gone the distance. Earlier this year went 78 yards. This time, 52 yards.
No second guessing.
Point after, Scott Shelton. 47-13 is now 48-13 with 10:08 remaining. Timeout on the field, and the Eagles are flying high. The latest points coming by way of Michael Youngblood, Marty.
And this one's for Eric Singer, the producer. You want to throw the ball? I'm going to take it. I'm going to intercept it, and I'm going to take it back 52 yards.
All right, don't miss high school championship football tomorrow on MSG Network at 8:30 in the morning. Undefeated Sayreville challenging Hillsborough for the Central Jersey Group 4 Championship. Then live at noon, it's the PSAL Football Championship featuring John F. Kennedy from the Bronx and Staten Island Susan Wagner. High school championship football doubleheader tomorrow on MSG, and Mike Quick will be working that Kennedy-Susan Wagner game, and that will be a dandy, as is Mike Quick. As I said before, Marty, you want high school information in the tri-state area? You call Mike Quick over at Madison Square Garden Network.
Get it to you quick.
Quick is quicker than quick. 48-13, the story here in Statesboro, Georgia. The defending national champions will move on next week at Newark, Delaware, taking on the Blue Hens, who beat Lehigh earlier today.
And without a doubt, that should be a good one.
J.R. Santos slipping at the 32-yard line. 1st and 10 coming up for the Hofstra Pride. Joe Gardy back with the headsets. Who are they chanting for here? Are they going to read on it? Boy, I'm looking out to the far side there, Marty. They're sliding down the hills here at Paulson Stadium on cardboard. They are enjoying the atmosphere.
I think they're chanting for somebody that they're calling Rudy.
I thought they were chanting for Marty. Johnson off the delay. Again, a powerful run to the 40, picking up about 7, maybe 8 yards. Oh, is this guy a horse and a half?
But you know what you have to really enjoy is the style of offense Georgia Southern runs. This with the double slot, and it gives you so many different options.
There they are.
The big boys.
Oh, they are. Johnson has 3 carries in this game for 22 since he replaced Trevor Dimmy, the freshman. Johnson goes to the outside. Just getting tripped up, or he might have picked up more. Got the first down on that 2nd and short. 15 more. 4 carries, 37 yards for Tyree Johnson. out of Miami, Florida. Big freshman, 6'1", 218-pounder.
Well, you know, this is a great experience for Joe Gardy and his entire coaching staff and these young men that came down here. You know, they're going to go back. They're going to feel pretty beat up. But you know what? Overall, they had a very successful season. They went a lot further than a lot of people anticipated. They should hold their heads high today.
Billy Morales picking up 12. And credit goes to a tremendous staff under Joe Gardy. 2 first-year coordinators, offensively Dave Brock, defensively Dan Quinn.
Both doing an excellent job, especially on the offensive side of the ball. You think about all the weapons that they had. Play selection by Dave Brock. On the defensive side of the ball, there is an injured player going off for Georgia Southern, number 20.
Trying to catch that.
I believe it's number 29.
Well, if it's 29, it's Devin Dandridge. Take a peek at the sideline. It is Devin Dandridge, yes. Johnson working it on this drive. Again the carry. Again the first down to Tyree Johnson. He'll be back. Nice little backfield when you have a Tyree Johnson and a Trevor Dimmy. There's Dan Quinn, the defensive coordinator for the Hofstra Pride,
and just a great guy. You know, you talk to the players,
guy.
The players really love him. They want to play for him. He's got a great future.
One thing that the players really love about Dan Quinn, as we look at Billy Morales take the quick hitter, scramble out close to another first down, is the fact that Dan Quinn, Marty, lets his players speak their mind.
Well, you have
they air it out, and they have a great relationship of give and take.
Well, the one thing that you have to remember, you learn a lot on the playing field, especially in football. You learn how to communicate, and you realize that, you know, life is a two-way street. You know, you want to talk, you talk to teach. You want to listen, you have to listen to learn.
8:17 left in this fourth quarter. Tyree Johnson again bruising his way straight up the middle. No stopping the big guy.
Well, a lot of the starters on the defensive side of the ball are their work is done.
What was that story last night Coach Bryant used to say to you during practice when you were done for the day?
Marty, take it to the house.
I think Georgia Southern took it to the house, in their house today, huh? But I guess a lot of those players on defense have taken it to the house, getting some rest, gearing it up for Delaware next week. Johnson could get away, tried to turn the corner on number 56. Joe Scott out of Fitzgerald, Georgia, a sophomore, the inside linebacker. A gain of 2. Johnson could have had more, but Scott put an end to that play.
And how about the job this offensive line has done all year? They're returning their leader, number 61, Dan Zorger, only a junior. The center really kept this group together.
Led by the offensive line coach Kyle Flood, Billy Morales stretching it out. In fact, you mentioned Dan Zorger. You know he plays ice hockey as you look at James Davis, but Dan Zorger, the big guy, believe it or not, put him on skates. Big number 61, put a stick in his hand, and think of that guy stick handling down the ice at 6'2", 270 pounds. Billy Morales has 5 catches on the day, 3 on this drive for 24 yards. So he's finishing out in strong fashion his college football career. 3rd down and goal for Hofstra from the 2-yard line. Johnson, touchdown! Tyree Johnson banging it home.
Well, they controlled that drive. Kept the pass very simple and ran the big running back, Tyree Johnson, right up the middle. Good trap blocking up front. James Davis, 74, comes around and he kicks it in for the score. 9 plays, 68 yards in under 3 minutes.
Chad Johnson with Tom Kemper to hold. And Hofstra on that touchdown run. Tyree Johnson, point after. Chad Johnson down 48-20 with 7:24 remaining in this fourth quarter. Coming back with more. We're in Statesboro, Georgia. Defending national champs in control. 7:24 remaining in the fourth quarter. Georgia Southern on top by the score of 48-20. Local college basketball doubleheader coming to Madison Square Garden next Saturday at noon. Manhattan, the Jaspers taking on Conference Pro St. Peter's. Then it's a special Fordham home game against Big East champion, the St. John's Red Storm. For tickets, visit the Garden box office, all Ticketmaster outlets, including The Wiz, or online at thegarden.com. I want you on that, Marty.
As soon as I get home tonight.
I want you to get on the garden.com, give me a couple of front row seats, see my alma mater, St. John's, Mike Jarvis. Speaking of campuses, how about this one, huh? We drove around here yesterday. You went to school here in the South. You are from the South, but there's something about Southern campuses that just, the beauty of them is incredible.
It really is. A lot of open space, people walking around, jogging.
The fans are still here. They're still hanging in. 7,139 in attendance. Chad Johnson, the onside kick. Who's coming up with it? And it's going to be Georgia Southern, number 85, Titus Johnson for Georgia Southern. 7:18 remaining. And that's who's out there. Edmund Coley will be in the backfield, number 11. Or will he be the quarterback? Let's see. They might put Coley behind center. Let's see if I'm right. I've been right so many times this year. It's incredible. Yeah, see, I told you.
It's quarterback for the Eagles, number 11, Edmund Coley.
And Marty, see that? Edmund Coley. I beat the public address announcer here. Coley given off as a lot of these second and third stringers coming in. Ball carrier number 35 was Mike Stewart. He's a senior out of Clarksville, Tennessee, picking up 4 on his first opportunity today. Kyle Thorne, the tackle.
6 yards on the carry by Stewart. Second down.
They got a bevy of running backs. What a stable Paul Johnson has. 6:45 counting. 48-20. It was 24-3 at the break. Now it is 48-20. Woo! Oh, you got to like that play there, huh? Steve Wilson, who doesn't get a lot of time because of the trio that Hofstra has out there, but Steve Wilson, the senior out of Brooklyn, he can play.
Again, he's going to shoot the gap, coming with a run blitz. Perfectly timed. Steve Wilson.
All right, Marty, let me ask you a question. Before this field was put together, I thought Delaware would be the national champion. We've seen Delaware. You have now seen Georgia Southern. They will meet next week. In your opinion, which I value so highly, who do you think comes out on top and advances to the championship?
Well, I think, number one, we saw Delaware early in the season. We're seeing Georgia Southern as they start to peak. It's at home for Delaware. I still give a slight edge to Delaware.
Okay, and I have to agree with you. Gain of 3, not enough. Fourth down brings out Scott Shelton. First punt of the game for Scott Shelton. Incredible. So Shelton will come out on the season. Getting this one, flag has been thrown. Billy Morales getting away from it.
Don't touch it, Dave!
You hear that?
Don't touch it!
I don't think I had to say don't touch it. That's the old Peter play.
I thought I counted 12 players here. 3, 6.
Well, if that's the case, we saw that last week. Illegal participation would be 15 yards, first down. You count the fastball in the morning.
Offside.
For being offside.
Okay. Well, let's see where they're going to move that. It's still going to be 4th and about a yard.
No, I believe it's going to be first down.
No, I don't think so. Look where the sticks are.
It was 4th down.
And then they never moved the 4th down marker because it should have been where that marker just was with the 4th down. It would have been 4th and 6. You move it up, it would have been 4th and 1.
No, where that marker was, that was 4th and 5. 5 yards. 5 from 5 is 0, making it first down.
How many times you take math? With meteorology and philosophy twice?
My little girl, Megan, 6, loves math. Very good. Really? Very good.
Coley, the ball carrier, chased down by Steve Wilson and James Mayer. There is Dandridge. as he goes off. Devin Dandridge, obviously it is a problem with that right leg. The sophomore from Marietta, Georgia. They'll work on him. He is a free safety who's been carted off.
And I should mention my son Jesse, who's 7, is very good at math.
What about Luke?
Luke is just a handful right now.
4:33 and counting on the clock. This is a 2nd down and 11. Coley looking for some room, and he was wrapped up there, maybe getting back to the original line of scrimmage. You know, we talked about Delaware. We saw them earlier this year, 3rd game of the season up at Hofstra. Both teams were highly ranked, and this is a team that knows how to get the job done. This earlier action, and boom, Mr. Cummings. How about Butter Pressey finding the end zone? And again, Craig Cummings, here we go, touchdown, and the Delaware Blue Hens 44-14 over Hofstra that day, and I think that one will be a shootout between Paul Johnson and Tubby Raymond.
There will be some points scored in that game.
Oh, and that is a raucous house as well down at Delaware. They'll have 18,000, 19,000 packed into that stadium. They had an overflow press credential today. People trying to get down there, and you know, I mean, there's going to be an overcrowded press box next week.
There's some future Eagles right there.
Yeah.
Some young kids learning how to play.
J.R. Revere will be going to the house that Tubby Raymond built. 2nd punt coming up for Shelton. Joe Todd came a-charging. The flag is thrown. I don't know. Todd is arguing with the official. Let's see. With 3:15 left. Umpire, I should see the referee, Michael Purcell, just standing there and observing. There's Joe Todd playing his last 3 minutes, 15 seconds, the senior linebacker, Mansfield, Massachusetts. Dead ball, illegal snap. Against Georgia Southern. Now they'll push it back to 5 yards. Crowd doesn't like it, but crowd shouldn't really complain when you're up by 28 in 3 minutes and 15 seconds left in a quarterfinal matchup here in Statesboro, Georgia. This will be the 25th home playoff win in a row for Georgia Southern. That's still a mind-boggling number. Bad snap, Shelton gets it off. Good job just to get it off. And then takes an Eagles bounce inside the 30, rolls dead at the 29-yard line. And here come the Hofstra Pride. 31-yard punt, no return. Who's going to be the quarterback? Joe Gardy States with Rocky Butler. He's got Tyree Johnson strike up the band. Eagles are flying high, and they'll be flying to Delaware next Friday for next Saturday's showdown. Twins to the top of the screen. Comes near side, Tom Kemper, gain of about a yard or so. 2nd down and long.
Tim LaRocco, number 32, in on the stop. LaRocco, the strong safety.
Hey, Marty, all the numbers given to us today. Stats, Rose Carter, great job.
Unbelievable. Probably the best we've had all year. Incredible.
Can't do it without folks. Great crew out here today, too. Again, tough conditions to set up. Johnson. 1st down, Tyree Johnson. 9 more. 2:38 on the clock. Well, we had fun again, and we'll get back at it again next season with the Hofstra Pride.
Very enjoyable year. We hope that everybody at home really enjoyed some of the skits that we were able to do. we enjoyed working with a lot of these young men. And
You call him Spitz, or was that really? I thought that was really true to form, Howard.
well, I can tell you that it has been a lot of fun for us.
Tyree Johnson, before that, 9 carries, 67 yards. Well, you can continue watching Hofstra this year with Hofstra basketball led by Jay Wright, and Marty Lyons is not going away. Marty and Al Trowick on the Heineken Jets Journal each and every week, and the Jets looking to make the move, perhaps getting to postseason play, big game against the Colts, but you and Al will continue on Heineken Jets Journal on MSG Network.
When you stop to think about the Jets playing tomorrow against the Colts, you have to think of one thing: great turnovers, stopping the big three for the Colts, and Peyton Manning, Marvin Harrison, Edwin James. But you know, it comes down to making the plays when you have to.
I know you're a former Jet, but I know somebody that's rooting against you tomorrow, and that's Adrian Peterson, because I'm going to say his brother, remember, a starting linebacker, Michael, for those Colts.
Oh, you're lucky I didn't have to, pull him off me yesterday.
Tyree Johnson in limited time today, Marty. 11 carries, 84 yards, and a touchdown, all in this fourth quarter that has 90 seconds left. A couple more for Tyree Johnson.
And how about all the parents that came out throughout the year?
Yeah.
You know, coming to support
the Dimmy family,
the players. We saw Sal Losi's father last week down in South Carolina.
He's here again today. Sal,
his mom's having a big party in Massapequa. You know, Kyle Thorne, everybody just, you know, the tremendous effort and tremendous support. You know, this ride is just over for a year, but they can start it up again next year.
Well, they'll get spring practice going rather soon, and they, as Marty said, will gear it up. I'm going more and more in love with the guy Tyree Johnson. What a duo, Johnson and Dimmy. Some long faces, yes, but don't hold your heads low on this one, because it was a tremendous season for what was supposed to be a rebuilding year. I think at the beginning of the year, if Hofstra, you were telling them that maybe would you take 6-5, 7-4, go home, they would have said absolutely.
And have an opportunity to come down and experience Georgia Southern. This is, you know what, this is top-notch 1AA football. And you know what, I really respect Joe Gardy for doing that right there.
Absolutely.
A key sign of respect. Joe Gardy telling his quarterback, hey, just take a knee. Joe Gardy will be out there to congratulate Paul Johnson. Look, you see Joe, very humble. Say, you know what, Coach? Every phase of the game, you just plain whipped us today.
Joe Gardy shaking hands with Paul Johnson, 48-20 the final. This one, Georgia Southern. A tremendous football season for Hofstra. More importantly, Georgia Southern moves on a step closer to defending. There's Joe Todd, his last game. Tremendous season that Joe Todd had, in the NFL Scouts, Marty, are looking at number 37.
Both him and Sal Losi. But let me say a quick thing about Joe Todd. There was a little scuffle after the game against Youngstown State. This young man wrote a letter to the athletic director, to the head coach, and said, you know what, Coach, I'm sorry. Hey, you guys won. Hey, keep playing well. Great deal of respect for this young man, 37, Joe Todd. And Sal Losi, 49. NFL scouts are looking at him. They may be able to take that next step.
Marty, it was fun again. We will do it again next season. Folks, this is it for Hofstra football, the year 2000. Once again, the final score, Georgia Southern 48, Hofstra 20. Join us for our next Hofstra basketball telecast on Wednesday, December 13th at 7:30. The Pride battling the Gales of Iona on Fox Sports Net. Coming up next on Metro, third date for Big